I'm going to unmute you in just a moment. All right. Good evening, everyone. Let's do some rough sound checks really quick. There's Nick Cook. Durden's live too. Durden, if you're still live later, I'll definitely come by. I'm gonna do a little bit of business. We got a little bit of business to attend to here. Let me make sure my co-host is live.
Hello.
Yeah, I think you're good.
Hello. Okay.
Can you guys hear us okay? Or are we minus the bad dance music? Can you set up the you're hot though? So we'll keep it on. This is you. You need mute. Oh, never mind. Are you muting? I think you're trying to mute.
You want to mute?
No, you're tripping. I'm tripping. All right, guys, we have some stuff to talk about. We're getting it pulled up right now. We're getting it pulled up right now. Okay, let me turn this down just a little bit.
So it says 1, 3, 4. Oh, part 2. Sorry.
Part 1, yes, out of order.
Never mind.
No, this is the set 2 or is this set 1?
Mhm.
So set 1. Okay, you got it. There you go. Okay, guys, we are getting set up. We have a lot of information to read to you tonight. You may or may not have heard this. I think I saw Kim. So I got let me open my phone up so I can contact you guys. We're gonna see how far I can get through this. If we have to, we might have to separate till tomorrow. Till. Kim, we got Mr. Jones. We got Chad, Apprentice. Sorry, I was late for multiple reasons. Jordan, man, we keep missing each other. Okay, go to live chat. And cut. I'm getting enlarged. Is this? Okay. See, this is. Is this 2 or 1? Oh, okay.
No, it's just.
We check this out. Hold on. Pull down a little bit. Okay, that's right. Wait. Okay, good. Keep going. Okay. Correct. And just, yeah, we're going to be queued with the sensitive information. Probably John Doe, Jane Doe, Weasley Street.
So, like,
555.
all the names?
You'd say name or you can give initial. You can give John Doe or the name redacted, you can say. If that makes sense. All right, guys. Yeah, we have some information. Let's get down to business. I would screen share it. But we have too much doxy information in there. So in order to keep it, maybe whatever. We'll talk about it later. But we are going to, in case you didn't know, let me back up. Does anyone not know what we're talking about? Does anyone need a backstory? we have a little bit of a backstory. So basically, Aaron had, I didn't know about this guy, John Davis, until Aaron brought him around. And John Davis uh, was involved in a shooting that developed into a homicide case. So will be the interview with the homicide detective after the shooting. And I guess I said it was at a gas station and it was really at a car wash. So he wanted me to read it. So, and other people also wanted to know about the details. So here we are. We're going to read to you what the facts were as was told, or at least what he told this cop. And then there's what he's telling YouTube, and what Aaron is saying, I would argue, are two different things. So let's get the first thing right, which was what happened in 2008 after the shooting. So again, I think this is old news, by the way. This information has been discussed here on YouTube. I just don't think it was discussed in this pocket of YouTube. So to my knowledge, outside, I know this was shared around the pred catcher community where John pretends that he's a pred catcher. So now he's trying to show his face over here. So we're going to have to, we don't really like liars around here, Mr. Davis. So we're going to have to go through, and you asked me to go through the case, John. So here we go. Without further ado, my
So before
will be the detective Chris Middleton, which I believe is a male, and Chris male. So she'll be the female, will be the detective, and I'll be John Davis. I'm probably going to do a ton of it's so big there. I'll do a ton of scrolling though. It's fine, I guess. So maybe let me get the yoga ball. Yeah, this might be a long night here. I can't sit in a chair for extended period of times like that.
So, like, other names we want to, like, make new?
Yeah, like the, say, like, name redacted. I guess since it's not blacked out, we could say that there is.
Well, like, the address.
Or I guess there are names redacted, the names that we could redact. Yeah, exactly. So that's, address redacted. Or you can make up, 123 Easy Street. You can get, but you have to use a little bit of creativity. If you want to keep it simple, just say address, redacted name, redacted social security number, redacted, whatever.
I just having a cough.
So this is a transcription. By the way, it's obviously not the audio. This is the transcription interview with Detective Chris Middleton and John Davis Jr. Okay. Are you ready?
Yes.
That was. We'll say pause when we take a break from transcription. We'll try to keep it as straight and narrow as we can. If we're gonna editorialize, we'll say pause. We'll try not to editorialize, but if we're gonna talk about maybe taking breaks or whatever.
Okay.
And first, before we get going, look at the chat. Do we have any? John Davis came into the pred catching community claiming that he killed a pred. That was a lie. Correct. That's what he's saying. That's what Aaron's saying. And let's see what let's see where the cards may fall. The cards fall as they may. So here we go. First person. Oh, I was going to take a sip. Energy drink. I don't get too cranked out here.
Mm-hmm. Okay. All right. 3, 2, 1. We're on tape now.
Yes, sir.
All right.
I'm sorry, Chris.
That's all right, bud. Don't worry about it. I understand. John, is this all your... Now, do you currently live with your dad, or do you live at...
I'm staying at my grandmother's house because my residence in Mount Washington was vandalized and destroyed by my soon-to-be ex-wife. That's filed papers on me, and
Filed divorce papers?
yes, and the name redacted guy I was telling you about,
What's your social security number, John?
blah 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 blah. Nah, social security number redacted. Sorry.
Okay, so you're staying at blah 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 road right now?
Yes, sir. To help my mother out and to help, with my grandma. Like I said, right now she's in rehabilitate. That rehabilitation, that's his double. Uh, Center right above Southwest.
Okay, so what's your phone number down there on blah 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 road?
Uh, the phone number there is phone number redacted.
Have you got a cell phone?
Yes, sir.
What is it?
Phone number redacted.
What's your full name? Well, your full name's John. Am I allowed to say it? Because they already know it.
Yes.
John M. Davis Jr., right?
Well, actually, the Commonwealth don't let you put two middle names on there. I'm John M. L. Davis Jr.
What's the L stand for?
Lamar.
And your date of birth is blah blah blah.
Yes, sir.
All right, I'll give that back to you. All right. You're aware this is being taped, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and you've had an opportunity to read your Miranda rights.
Yes, sir.
You didn't initial them.
Initialed them, signed it.
Signed it. No threats, Kosran. You're
Coercion.
yeah, you're speaking with me freely
Yes, sir.
of your own free will.
Yes, Chris. Sorry, I know you.
You're fine, man.
Telling me to.
Don't worry about it. We're fine. On the way here, I made contact with you this morning, a little bit before. I guess it's a little bit before 7, right at 7 o'clock. I called you from your father's house. Told you I needed to speak to you. Come out and meet you at your grandmother's house there on Johnstone Road.
Yes, sir.
During the course of the conversation, you asked me to grab a seat. I said, this is where the trail ended. You expressed that it's a self defense situation. Who exactly are we talking about? Is this self defense? Who's
Uh, Larry Evans Jr.
Larry? Okay.
Uh,
So you said he made.
because he made me. No, because he made the remark that he was going to put me in a body bag when David Lindsay, a family friend, my brother, name redacted, and another family friend, name redacted,
Mhm.
heard him say it, and he didn't know that he was at my parents' house. So I mean, they was kind of parked back a little bit, and my brother's car is black, so he couldn't see it and didn't know that there was standing there talking, and he was coming out to tell his buddy that that he was putting me in a body bag because he knows that he's going down for all them doctor shopping charges because he was buying
Buying from your ex-wife?
soon to be ex-wife.
Okay, on the way down, you know, once again, several statements, that, you had basically, that you had to shoot.
He was reaching, and when someone reaches like that, I've been on quite a few ride-alongs with your fellow
Mm-hmm.
law enforcement officers. I was always properly trained with the use of firearms and the respect of them, the use of them, the fact that you never pull one out unless you have to. And
Did your dad teach you this?
Well, my dad
And
and
grandfather?
grandfather,
You never received no training from the police department though, have you?
no, sir, but
Okay.
I have friends like that. I said that are on the police department, and I'm gonna make no lies to you about it. I've told you that I've wanted to be totally honest with you from the get go
Right.
and fully cooperative.
Now tonight, I know tonight you and Larry spoke to each other several times on the telephone or attempted to.
I know
No,
you called.
yeah.
Oh yeah,
I know
sorry.
you called and left several messages at his house.
Well, he said after he had made that statement and everything.
Phone rings. Hey, I need to call you back. Close this phone.
Uh, and he had shoved me, and I told him I thought it'd be better that he not come around our house anymore because of the fact of me knowing that the involvement with that, and he said, "You put me in a suit, you're gone." And then when we went outside, when he went outside to get a trailblazer that his friend had drove him over in,
Mm-hmm.
then that's when he made the remark as he was getting in there. Like I said, my brother and them two family friends heard the remark.
Mm-hmm.
And he kept calling back and forth, back and forth. I said, "Look, you don't have to put me in no body bag." I said, "We can just go, fist to fist." He said, "No." He said, "You're going in the body bag."
When did he make this comment to you? Was it last night or
He was over the phone.
over the phone?
And he started screaming a whole bunch of stuff. And I told him, I said, "Look," I said, "you're not making any sense." I said, "You're evidently on a whole bunch of pills." I said, "Because you sound like you're stupid, you're slurring, and you sound like you're retarded."
What time did you start arguing yesterday?
Well, it was last evening. I think it was about, I'm not exactly sure, maybe 11:30.
He come over to your dad's house yesterday? What time was that?
Uh, that was about that time.
About 11:30? Okay, who was he with when he came over?
I don't know who the guy was driving the Trailblazer, and
White guy, black guy?
he was a white male,
Okay.
brown hair,
All right.
uh,
So you're saying that when he came over around 11:30 in the Trailblazer, you all got to arguing then.
no, he had come over and everything, and I asked him to step into the other room because his father and my father were real good friends. They grew up together on this street.
Mhm.
And I told him, I said, "Look, I respect my father. I think it's best that you stay away from here."
Mhm.
And I kind of, sensed it then when he took and shoved me.
What did he say when he shoved you?
He said, "You put me in a suit, and you'll be in a body bag, and then
You mean a suit like for court or
jail."
jail? Okay.
Because
Had you threatened
all of the papers I had.
had you threatened to turn him in?
No, this is everything that is been followed through. the other investigation, but there's actually two of them going on. One in Bullitt County,
Hmm.
and then one here in Audible. And you know, she, you know, being yes, I'm sorry, and comma, she, comma, comma, my, comma, it's like a little broken. Some of it, I'm not kidding. I'm not stuttering. Like
Yeah,
he's
this
redundant a little bit.
it's not us stumbling over the words.
A little bit me,
A little bit, but
but he is too. And she, my soon to be ex-wife does not know about the one that's going on here with her, but Larry.
so you all get into it about 11:30 verbal argument.
And him making physical contact and making that threat.
All right, so he leaves. I know you call him to one of your messages like you need to apologize. I've got a piece of evidence here that could.
That's that's going to the Commonwealth Attorney's office.
Yeah, you said I think it was a I've got a piece of evidence here that could put you in a suit. That what you told him?
It wasn't that. It was I've got some.
I've got it saved.
I don't remember exactly what it was, but I've got her old cell phone, and it has the contacts that she made and everything else like that. And I said, you don't have to come over here acting like this
What's
or what
what
a.
a
And I just was asking him to go.
What time did you call him and ask him to meet you at the car wash?
He had actually called and asked me to meet him there. So,
What was the reason for y'all to meet there?
well, supposedly it was just going to be a fist fight, but sorry, when he kind of reached into his seat and his door was open and he was getting out, and then I gunned my truck to where he'd be getting back there, and I stopped short of it, and he went to reach, and I acted on instinct because of his reputation. I because he had told me the next time he sees me I better have a pistol, and I wasn't intending on shooting anyone. So,
Did you ever see a gun?
okay, so that was part pause. So, did you ever see a gun? Say that one more time.
Did you ever see a gun?
Pause. Okay, we're gonna switch. Okay, you okay? You want to take a sip?
That's okay.
Okay. I
Did you ever see him produce a gun?
I see him reaching,
But you never did see a gun.
and when somebody reaches like that, I mean,
Well, I mean,
and you had mentioned something about a white Ford truck. Well, that could have been one of his buddies there sitting there and inaudible.
what I said was I thought you had a white truck at one time. They got you listed as owning a white truck at one time.
That's a long time ago.
Okay.
It was junk. That's why it's still.
But back to that, did you ever see him pull a gun?
I didn't.
Or does he?
I didn't actually see the gun.
You assumed he was pulling one.
I've seen it happen a million times during the police ride-alongs of how people do.
Yeah, but I mean, you just said
and there was exactly the motions that he was making. And like I said, I had no intentions of doing anything like that. And
Did you get out of the truck before you shot?
no, I was in the truck.
Did he ever get out of the truck and shoot?
No, sir.
You never got out and shot through the window, uh, through the window, through his window, or anything like that. So you were still in your truck, pull up, pull up close on him, and
And he, like I said, when I was coming up, he was opening his door and reaching over. Then when I got in my truck and got up on him, he got back in and shut the door because I, I didn't want to hit his vehicle. I thought, it's just going to be a verbal conversation. Everybody, would fight, yell, scream, whatever, and it'd be over.
mm-hmm.
But when, I see him going down and reaching one time, that's when I gunned the truck so he couldn't get back in the vehicle.
Mm-hmm.
And then when no, and then when he went to reach again,
Did he say anything to you when you ran up on when you got your truck
no, just jumped back in his truck and
in his car? You mean?
yeah, he jumped back in his car and he like I said went to reach, and at this time I seen that it was a threat, and that's when the rounds fired, and I left.
Did he ever pull a gun and point it at you when you started shooting, or did he ever make any statements when he was shot?
When
wh-
he
When when he was shot, shoot,
when he was shoot,
when
but
he was shoot, while you shooting, he was he say anything to you at all? I mean, he yelling, screaming, anything?
yeah, that might have been a spelling error, might have been shot. So when he was shot while you shooting, he say anything to you at all? I mean, this is the detective. I mean, I was yelling, screaming, anything? Question mark. Back to me, or back to John. No, just I think he was surprised that he thought he was going to get up the jump on me,
Mm-hmm.
and fill my hole full of trucks. Damn, my truck full of holes, and the passenger I had with me, which was David, name redacted, and he witnessed it when he went to reach.
David blah blah. That's at your dad's house?
Yes, and like I said, I mean, he went to reach and was, you know, instinct. You're around law enforcement. I do a lot of things for law enforcement. You know that
Mm-hmm.
to promote the positive aspects of it, and I knew that there was a hit out on. I, I knew there was a hit out there. Somebody had told me, different people. I don't really like. I don't really know was like. I don't really know was like. I don't really know was like. You better watch your back. You better watch your back. And I was threatening calls from my soon to be ex wife and the guy that she was dating at the time.
But Larry had never, prior to last night, you and him had no problem?
We grew up together, and of course you have childhood skirmishes,
Yeah.
but
Nothing to be taken seriously?
he was he was he was mad because of the fact that he knew he was gonna go down over the papers that I showed you. Uh, it's another investigation,
Mm-hmm.
and it was one of them deals where he must have took drugs to do the deal. I mean, you know, I've got 3 children. I was telling you about it on the way.
Right.
And I tried to do everything to raise them right. And, my soon to be ex wife, the 2 kids that we had together, she has not done a good job of setting a role model, doing this behind my back with them around. So I find out about it when they was on a run, a Casper on her,
How'd you find out about the Casper?
because she went to the Mount Washington police chief, or the police chief,
Mm-hmm.
and he called me on my cell phone while I was at work. And Vicky, my soon-to-be ex-wife, Vicky had told him I have my children's medicine that they needed, and that so like, look, I said, there, I would not do anything to endanger, my children at all. And my daughter's got Crohn's disease or something close to it, and I think it's Crohn's disease, but it says Crohn's. Um, I think she has Crohn's
Yeah.
disease, but or something close to it. They haven't totally diagnosed it. It's a very crippling disease.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, I told you about my son being, mildly developmentally delayed,
Mm-hmm.
and he has ADHD. Well, the ADHD medication she's been given to name the name got that he got shot. The guy was he was crushing them up and snorting them while I'm at work. He's come to my house and all the stuff's going on, and my neighbor's there, and there's a lot of traffic, like or traffic that was here. And when I was talking to the police chief, I said, I she does have some doctor shopping charges on her, but he said, "Oh, really?" And I guess Bullitt County run up their Casper to up with that, match up with what was going on here at LMPD. And she wanted my life insurance policy, and that's what I was told. So they was looking for somebody to offer me. You know, that's the only way you can really say it.
But what I was saying though is you and Larry have never fought to the degree. I mean, y'all always been kind of cordial with each other, basically, haven't you?
Well, he's been ever since our marriage kind of started going sour and everything. Uh, he has been uh, real. What's the word that I could use that would be polite? He's been a real ass, so to speak. And then, of course, I told you he made that statement. If I pull him in a suit, I'm in a body bag, which the papers I showed you.
Wouldn't you agree though that that's basically wouldn't you agree though that that's basically wouldn't say he's like part of a big conspiracy, but that's basically him protecting himself?
No, I don't think it was him protecting himself. I knew he was going down, and if you
He didn't want to go down. That's what I'm saying. He's protecting himself.
right, yeah.
He's like, if you tell on me, I'm gonna bust you.
Uh, you know, it's not me telling on him.
Right.
You know, it's law enforcement that's following her. It's following her everywhere, and y'all's job, and y'all know how to do it.
Okay, did when you started shooting at Larry, what did he do?
Well, he went to try to go out the passenger door. He was still trying to reach, and then he opened the passenger door and fell out.
And what did you do from there?
I turned around and I left.
All right, so where'd you go to when you left?
I dropped David off at my dad's house, and then I went home to 70 blah blah blah. I went to grandparent my grandmother's house, and first I was a nervous wreck.
Mm-hmm.
Because here I had to face this.
Mm-hmm.
And the last thing I ever wanted to do was to hurt anyone.
Sure.
But of course, I'm going to miss church this morning, but I was out of church, got back into it because I knew my children needed to be in it.
Mm-hmm.
I knew my wife's going to be going to prison.
So what'd you do after you dropped David off? Did you go to your grandmother's house? And then what? What did you do then?
Uh, I then dismantled the gun, and as you all had saw it,
Mm-hmm.
and took a shower.
What uh what the clothes you had on? What clothes you had on? What'd you do with those?
I put them in like a Kroger's bag and threw them in the trunk of the car.
And David that was with you?
Yes, sir.
Did he shoot a gun?
No, sir.
He didn't shoot a gun at all last night.
No, sir. No, sir. He was, sorry. No, sir. He was just with me and no, let me try that again. No, sir. He was he was just with me and just really just a witness to what happened.
All right.
Inaudible.
Well, give me just a second, John. It's currently 5 minutes to 9. I'm going to stop the tape for a short second and step out of the room. I'll start the tape back upon return. Tapes stops and starts. All right. The time is now 10 13 hours. I don't know. The tape resumed after I stepped out of the interview room. Okay.
His vehicle was parked in this position. I came up the hill in my truck in this position
Mm-hmm.
over here.
Just
Okay.
you have to take the cap off of it.
I'm not a good artist.
I'm good to do stick figure. I'm good to do stick figures, man. All right. Here's the car wash itself.
Okay. He was parked around right here, and then it's a funny entrance.
Yeah.
Because it comes up like this. Well, he started to open the door right up there, and then that's when I gunned it so he wouldn't shut the door. And when I got up, because when the door was open, like I said, it looked like he was reaching.
Mm-hmm.
And he was coming up, and then I just came up there and he shut his door, and then he continued to reach, and I was in fear. And after the remarks that he had made, and I went back around like this, and then came out, and then left.
Okay, so you came in here, you get right there, he shuts the door to get back in, you pull up, you're in the truck, you pull up. Where did he have the gun at?
Oh, the gun was in the back part of the truck. It was like, it was, right there for me just to.
So it's in the extended cap part.
Yes, sir.
So you pull up there. Do you reach back? Is it laying on the seat or is it shoved in the cushion or how is it positioned in the truck?
It was laying out. Let's say that again. Excuse me. It was laying out to where, it would be in plain view, so it wouldn't be
Mhm.
concealed because I know of the rules as far as, con, a concealed weapon, and, a police officer pulls you over and you have a concealed weapon, then, that's a charge.
Okay, so you reach back, you gun it up there, you reach back, grab it, and come up and just start shooting.
But,
Did you say anything to him whatsoever?
no, he continued to reach, like I said.
Is there a possibility he was trying to go ahead and get out of the car then? Was he reaching over for the door?
Oh, he didn't have room to open.
No, for the passenger side, because you said earlier that he went out the passenger side.
Yeah.
Was he possibly reaching over to kind of get out of the car?
No, not at this time, because, like I said, he was sticking his hands between what would have been the split seat of type of vehicle, and he has a reputation for doing that.
For carrying a gun?
Yes, sir. And, that's, why he went to reach. I mean, I thought it was for me.
Have you ever seen him carry a gun before?
Oh, I've seen him carry guns before. He, he's, he's got revolvers, a lot of them. I'm sure. I'm sure probably was hot because there's no way with his criminal history that he should have a gun. I know he's on disability, but he's a drug dealer,
Mm-hmm.
and how else are you going to have things that he has drawn disability? And like I said, he's been known to have, guns on him.
But have you actually seen him with a pistol?
Yeah, I've seen him with revolvers. I've seen him with semi.
How long ago was that?
This has been within, the past year or so. So, that's what I'm saying. I don't know how a man with his history as far as things that he does and everything obtains firearms.
All right, so you pull up, you
Pause.
don't.
All right, so you pull up and you don't. Okay, now we're pausing there. That was the detective.
You don't say anything to him whatsoever, or you just start shooting.
Oh, he went to reach and
I mean, but did you say anything?
no.
You just started shooting?
He had went to reach, like I said, and I figured that he was up to his hijinks where guns had been in the seat
Uh-huh.
because the caprices, I'm familiar with them too because of the way, law enforcement uses them too. And it looked like he was pulling or reaching it down between the seat to pull it out between the 60/40 or the 40/60.
Mhm.
However it is, because why? I mean, why? I don't understand why else. I don't understand why else would in in this position.
Uh-huh.
And I mean, I was.
So you don't make any statements before you shoot him. Okay. How many times do you think you shot him?
Well, sir, like I said, with, I'm sorry, Chris, with the way I was taught and everything like that, I'd say it was like, 10, 12. But I mean, it was like instant because of
Uh-huh. And this is by experience, your dad and grandfather taught you?
inaudible. Well, my dad, my grandfather, my fellow law enforcement officers, the military, whenever you hold a gun, you're not supposed to have your finger on the trigger.
Mhm.
Which, Chris, I didn't have it on the trigger initially. I had it against the trigger frame
Mhm.
because that's the way I was taught, you know. And then he was like, I said, he was going like this, and he made this move with his arm too, like he was going to pull something out. And I mean, I saw a threat, and he was the one that took. He had been the one out on the contract that Willie William Price and my soon to be ex-wife, and they had put out on me for insurance money. By the way, and by the way, the statements he made at the house, and that, and then that all, and
But he never made any statements to you in regards to having shared interest with your ex-wife or William Law. He just made statements to you as far as his case goes, if he would be wrapped up in a case because of where he'd been,
yeah, he said a suit.
but he didn't make any statements as of, I'm gonna get you for Willie and I'm gonna get you for your wife.
No, he didn't say. No, he didn't actually say that,
Okay.
but he did say, like I said, with three witnesses.
3 witnesses.
Then I'm going in the body bag.
So here's where I got a problem. We went to your dad's house.
Yes, sir.
All right, and David Blah was there.
Yes, sir.
Okay, and he's already lied to us once about where he was at last night and what time he got home and stuff like that. And here's another thing I want to throw at you. What would you say if there was video?
Uh, I know that there's probably cameras at the car lot. I mean the car wash,
And that's
because
some of the video, say that there is video, say it doesn't match up with what you're telling me, say it was to show you pulled up the lot, run the whole part of it towards, run your truck towards Larry blah car, and they start popping off rounds.
like I said, when I seen him, you know, the camera angle may have not caught that. But
Well, let me say this much, and I don't say this to be mean because you've been, like I said, you've been a big supporter of the police, but in all actuality, you're not a police officer,
no, sir.
nor have you ever been. You haven't been in the military. This is basically stuff that you've read about, stuff that interested you, and you researched it to some effect, right? I mean, you went to school with a lot of people that are now police officers and stuff like that. But and and then knowing them, you know that created an interest for you in law enforcement, but you never.
Right. One time I was trying to become a law enforcement officer, and my soon to be ex wife was afraid I'd end up uh, Pete, and she didn't want to run the risk, so I stopped.
But as far as and and we agreed earlier, that I'm pretty sure you'll agree with me on this, that in the same situation, same circumstances, just due to the thought that he had a gun, there hasn't been one recovered from that vehicle. Larry was by himself. There's no gun. There's no gun in that vehicle. Larry didn't have a gun. And I think you'll agree, there was some fear on your uh, behalf of
Behalf.
Larry, but there was also some anger there also.
Well, there was anger as far as, like I said, as he acted in my father's home.
He acted like that in your father's home. He's also
Called and, said stuff uh like I told you, the next time I see you out, you better have a pistol because I'm gonna, you're going in a body bag.
well, let me ask you this right now today. This does this didn't happen last night. We're going on about our lives as usual. Your phone rings. It's your ex-wife. She said, "I'll kick my habits. I want to get back with you and raise our kids and go on with our life." What would be your response?
After her conspiring to,
What's your response? What is it going to be?
it's gonna be no,
Now,
because
do you think,
the several.
I mean it, I've readily it's readily apparent, you know, that the drugs came in to play and busted up your marriage.
Yes, sir.
And I'm sure that you're a human being, you're like all of us, even though you and your wife are split, headed towards divorce, you say that, you wouldn't resume your life if you could. There's still some love with her for her because she's the mother of your children.
Exactly.
Okay, so you got anger towards her to some extent because of getting on it, but I think you got more anger towards the people that got her into the lifestyle, don't you?
No, sir. I mean,
I would
I
That's human emotion. That's not something you can help. I mean, it's just it's normal cuz you got your loved ones, people that you care about and things. When they make bad decisions, everybody does. Everybody ought to make the decisions that, they were led astray, Nobody ever assumes that a person beat the path to go astray. It's like, old saying is the high road and the low road. The low road's easier because you don't have to climb. But some people, they want to climb, but they want to climb up there and do the wrong thing.
well, I mean, I've always tried to take the right road,
Right. And I believe that.
and like I said, I mean,
But I think there's some anger there towards your wife for the decision she's made. If you say no, then you're not human.
when William Blah went through his drug alcohol and did his inaudible,
Mhm.
I had to take her 10 bro 10 broic, so she could sign herself in and was on suicide watch.
Mhm. And did that cause you still did that cause you to still care about her?
Yeah, I mean, she's the mother of my children.
And that's what I'm saying. That's completely normal.
Yeah, and as far as being angry at her, I can't really be angry at her because it was her mistakes that she made.
Well, and to me, I would be more angry because that's a choice she made over, her family and her children and stuff like that. But there was anger towards William Blah, and you stated that earlier, the coke had got her screwed up, is what you told me. So, I mean, it's not a bad thing, John.
Yeah,
I mean, it's
yeah, and I never.
you're allowed to be angry at people.
Yeah, I was angry.
Yeah.
It's on record where he had called and terroristically threatened me. I called the officer that
It's like we said earlier, though. Terroristic threatening does not give you cause to take a human life.
I I understand that. I made a report about it and I was getting ready to file the, charges on a Friday. He's dead on, from
And tonight, from today or last night with Larry, he makes threats. You make threats. I'm going to put you in a suit.
yeah, I mean, he said that if I put him in a suit then I'm in a body bag.
But he tells you that prior to that, and then when you make your phone call after the fact, that's one of the things you say to me. You say,
Well, I
I've got one piece of evidence here that's going to put you in a suit. I want an apology.
I want an apology for the way he'd been acting at my father's residence and that it's going to the Commonwealth Attorney's Office.
Well, and this case is going to go to the Commonwealth Attorney's Office. And this is one thing I think I would be unfair if I didn't tell you. You were here. Here's the way that I'm perceiving it. And you told me earlier you're an honest man. You want to cooperate and listen to me, and said you don't agree. I think today you got into it with Larry at your dad's house. You all get into it. Larry tells you if you put me in a suit, I'm gonna get you.
He's going to put me in a body bag.
Right,
And he's going out, he's saying, I'm going in a body bag, and he doesn't realize that he is.
right, and stop and think about it. If I call you tomorrow and we're both running the street and I say, "Hey, John, man, screw you. I'm gonna put you in prison, dude. I'm gonna, all the pills we've been doing together. You shorted me on some pills last time. I'm gonna put you in prison." You're like, "No, you're not. I'll kick your ass if you try and put me in prison. I'll beat you to a pulp. I'll kick you." People have said that from the beginning of time, and they're going to continue to say it. When they get very angry and they're self preserving, they want to inflict fear or try and bully their way, bluff their way out of it. You say things, but so this is at your dad's house, fine and dandy. You know that Larry is mad at you and you're mad at Larry, but instead of letting it lie, you start making phone calls because you're pissed, you're hot. He's not gonna walk in your dad's off house like that and talk to you. He's not gonna do that in your dad's house. He's guy likes an audible, turned and ruined your marriage, took your kids away from you. You're pissed,
Uh, they're not away from me since.
but you're not kissing him goodnight every night.
I, well, I wanted my kids to be down there away from everything that happened.
But this lifestyle has ruined your family. You're you're not in your house, you're not kissing your kids goodnight every night. You're not enjoying a normal married life, which you want to do.
Well, sir, I mean,
If you could go back 2, 3, 4, 5 years ago and change everything that happened as far as your marriage, you would do it. There's not a man on the face of the earth that says,
I don't let her go to prison with Jane Sanders.
well, I mean, but if you could go back before that, Stop before she ever got to the point to where she was possibly going to prison. You'd have stopped it. You're a man, you're a husband, you're a dad. You'd have stopped it. You wouldn't have. Then you maybe, if you wouldn't have, then you weren't a man, maybe you weren't a husband, maybe you weren't a dad.
I'm a good man. Otherwise, I wouldn't try and do the good things that I do.
Right, but you would have stopped that. You would have stopped that lifestyle and put an end to it. You would have had her make different, helped her to make different choices. But tonight Larry comes to your house. He asks about your dad's house. That ain't cool. That pisses you off. He makes some statements to you.
He makes the statement as he's going outside, not knowing and telling his friends in the vehicle when three people I told you was out there.
But you're missing the point here. He makes these statements, he leaves. All right. He's running his jaws. You in turn call him up and run your
It
jaws.
was back and forth.
Back and forth. It's a verbal argument. It happens all the time. No big deal. It's about halfway legal to argue. There's really no crime in an argument until it goes to the next level. So you call him up, and one of the things that you say when you call him is, I'm going to put you in a suit. You said, verbatim, I want an apology. Larry, you got to answer the phone. I want an apology. I'm going to put you in a suit. The piece of evidence I got in my hand, dude. You better call. You better call you. That's the message. Well, then I simply call you back.
That's when he called back, just started.
Your dad
No, let me
call.
say it again. That's when he called back and just started.
Your dad calls him.
Rambling and ranting.
Your dad calls him, yeah, because stop and think about it. The one thing he's worried most about, being put in that jail suit, one thing he's worried most about. And stop and think about it. What do people usually get buried in?
Okay. Pause.
Oh, my
Part.
ears.
You okay?
Yes.
Okay, we have two more segments, then maybe we can take a quick break for the listening audience,
Yes.
and we're done page 35. So we're about a third of the way through if you're keeping up at home. Okay, so we're going to go continue with this discussion. Back to me. Yeah, but he wasn't meaning jail suit. That's exactly what he was meaning.
And John, like I said, I'm not saying you're being dishonest, but you got to stop and look at the whole picture. That's your side of the story. I'm going to put you in a suit. I'm going to put you in a box, a witness box or a pine box, a jail suit or a burial suit. You don't know.
I see where you got thrown. Okay, let me say it again. I see where you got thrown that out there, but I know what he meant.
So you call him, instead of leaving it alone, letting him cool off, staying home where, you're safe, you call him. Another phone calls made back to you during the course of the conversation. Y'all make us y'all make a decision at, both of you pushing 40 to me.
I'm 39. He's 40.
Yeah, to meet at Village Car Wash and fight like we did back in 1985 and carry on. You get there, you're hot, you're pissed, you are. You can't help it. You're a natural person, and that's the way it goes. I get mad, you get mad, everybody gets mad. There's nobody on the face of the earth that gets up every day and says, whistles, oh, somebody stole my car, that is great. Man, I'm tight with that guy. I hope you can use it. They never get up, and that never happens. Nobody gets up, and dog name it, my
Doggone
wife,
it.
dog, whatever,
Doggone it.
my wife went. and got on drugs, man, hope that works out for her. That's really going to help our marriage. Nobody does that. They're not like, yes, maybe she'll do cocaine. Nobody does that.
I never wish that on anybody.
Right. You got a family member that gets on drugs. You're like, what in the hell is wrong with them? Freaking idiot. Like, what are they ruining? Look what they're taking away from everybody else. Look at the selfishness of it. Oh, that pisses me off. So tonight, after all this conversation with Larry, like I said, you call him, you all come to a decision. You're going to meet and fight like two 15-year-olds. One of you would have pulled something. You've been out there for 2 or 3 days trying to fight, all right? That's the way it goes. When you get there, you're a little scared of Larry.
Well, because of the fact of the way he is and the high roller, the drug dealer that he is, and
I've seen some high rollers, and I'm not even going to put Larry for high rollers. He makes
well, I'm not saying high roller, but I mean,
he's very well.
but he don't have a phone, but
No, he very well cooks, sells some marijuana, sells some pills, takes some pills, smokes marijuana, I'll grant you that point.
okay. End of tape, side A, or end of side A, tape 1, beginning of side B. Okay, so 9:36 a.m.
Okay, Middleton 9.
You okay? Do you want to sit?
Yeah. Sorry,
Okay,
I'll
take,
get a little water.
yeah, I think she's dying. John, you've killed my girlfriend. I'm just kidding. So, I guess I will take this opportunity. I've been trying to ignore the chat. I've been trying to ignore the chat. I've been trying to read. But hey, everyone!
Even though I'm reading, I'm kind of getting confused about some of the
Yeah,
characters.
no, it's just the bad grammar is kind of some of it is hard. Like literally, I'm not stuttering. It's like you
No,
know,
it's kind of getting me hard to follow the story.
you know, Edward.
Larry,
Stop right there, Scotty. Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
Say that again. He doesn't realize he is. That um, proves premeditation. So I've been ignoring the chat. Let me go. Let me see. No. I have the wrong. Hold on. I will go. We're gonna have to give. Oh, I can't. Hold on. Let me get my other phone because I don't want to touch anything because I'm gonna fuck it up. I've got shit set up. Okay, so you said stop right there. I kind of don't want to do this because it will break my continuity, but just so we're on the same page. I think I may have went past. Now I have to go back to part
Yeah.
3. Okay. So, okay, just I guess switch it. Hold on. Okay.
I think that's at the bottom.
No, what channel am I on? I gotta switch accounts so I can give a wrench. I have it open on my computer, but I don't want to have these things open. I don't want to mess with it. No, not. I don't want this. I want switch account.
I'm getting confused because some of the characters I'm getting, I think, flip flopped with.
Yeah, okay. It is a little confusing. That's what I'm saying. We may have to even redo this or reanalyze this with tomorrow. Okay, so I'm going to go to home. What the heck? So here, make sure my volume is down. It's not. Okay, so we're gonna have. So I think I'm pretty close. So let me see if I can't find this. Bam. Okay. Okay. This is the end of it. Right at the end of it. Okay. Okay. All right. I'm gonna have trouble finding it now because it's all. So, if you give me a little bit of context, hold on. John Davis said he was going to going to put me in a box. Little did he know he was going in one. Oh yes, okay, got you. Yeah, I thought that was very brazen of him to say, especially under the circumstances. I think he would have. Okay. As he's going out, he said, I'm sorry. As he's going out, he's saying, I'm going in a body bag. He doesn't realize that he is. Okay. That's a very good point. And I'm going to take a picture of that. We'll go here. Photo. And then I'm going to go. Oh, I'm going to say it even better. He's going to put me in a body bag, right? And he's going out and he's saying, I'm going in a body bag. He doesn't realize that he is. That does seem premeditated. That you could argue that maybe that was just his post murder takeaway. I see what you're saying. It's not a bad point. On that, let me make sure my chat open.
I think it's like the Larry and the Wyatt guide I'm getting like confused with.
Oh yeah, so yeah, you don't know enough of the backstory, but you probably we'll talk about it. Just to keep the continuation of the flow. Okay, so
all right. So Middleton.
And then hold on, they're talking about he he's not really a high or sorry, John's claiming he's a high roller with the Chris Middleton saying I've seen some high rollers. I'm not going to put Larry for a high roller. So Larry is the guy who got shot. Well, I'm not saying a high roller, but I mean, and then he don't have a phone, but all the best drug dealers, the ballers, have no phones.
All right.
Okay, then I'll grant you that point. Sorry, that was Middleton. So that was the okay. That he's a druggie. I guess he's a druggie. So the cop would concur on that. Not a baller, probably. Okay, moving along. End of side A of tape 1, beginning of side B.
Right.
Bam.
Resuming the interview with Mr. John M. Davis Jr., homicide interview, room number 1, Detective Chris Middleton. Go ahead.
May we take a small break and escort me to the restroom, please? So
Yeah, I'm gonna stop the tape at 9:37, so Mr. Davis can use the restroom.
Tape stops and starts.
The tape resumed at 9:40 hours. Still in interview room number 1, Detective Chris Middleton with Mr. John M. Davis Jr. The date today is August the 10th, 2018. This matter concerning the death of Mr. Larry Blank. All right. Like I was saying though, so you're mad, right?
Yeah.
You're mad at how this goes down in your house or your dad's house. You're mad that he's threatened you. You've had enough. This uh, dope game. You're not in the dope game, but this dope game has affected your life way too much, and you're tired of it.
And like I said, I had heard that
Go with that. Your first thing, you're tired of the dope game, but it keeps you're not in the dope game. It
I hate drugs.
and it keeps coming around and getting in your life. You've had enough of it.
And
Is that true? Would that be right? Yeah, you've had enough of it. No, you want some more of it. Or
nobody in their right mind will want drugs around there.
so you're tired of it.
Yeah, I'm tired of all this illegal stuff she pulled. I showed you these papers here.
Yeah, and you're tired of it affecting your life. Tired.
Really.
And then Larry provoked it.
Affecting my children.
Yeah, Larry comes over last night, you perceive him to be in the dope game and he threatens you. And so once again, y'all go and exchange phone calls, make a plan to meet up and fight. You get up there, you got anger and you got fear of Larry.
Because of his, like I said, his reputation of having a gun.
But you don't have enough fear of him to where you stay home. You're going to go up there and fight him fist to fist.
Yeah, that's the original plan, but
So you get there, Lyria, from the time you pull in the parking lot, see him sitting in his car. You perceive, well, actually, he's exiting the car, and you perceive you think that maybe he'll have a gun.
well, like I said, he made the motion
We
of reaching and
and we don't know the motion. I mean,
yeah.
like if we're sitting in a car in a Caprice right now, there's an armrest. Maybe he's pulling the armrest. You don't know. That's what I'm saying earlier. If I got a hands under the table right now and we are agreeing during the course of the argument, I do like that.
Do anything if we're at eye
You
contact.
can't see my hands.
Inaudible.
You can't see my hands. I do like that. Am I reaching for a gun or am I scratching my ankle? We don't know. It doesn't give us the grounds to run our car full throttle at him, to push him back in the car, produce a handgun, and start shooting in the car.
Like I said, I mean
Switch sides with me real quick.
that's
You're the police. You're the police officer now, okay? You're the police officer. Man, I don't see him have a gun. I thought he might have one.
well, I mean,
What do you think?
like I said.
No, you're the police officer. You're the officer now.
Okay, did you see him reach for anything that
Yeah, I saw him. No, I saw him moving around in the car. I don't know what he was reaching for. I don't know, I never saw a gun, but he might have a gun. So I went around and shot him. Shot at him 10, 11, 12 times. He might have a gun. I wasn't really sure. That's okay though, ain't it?
I get your point. What was you saying?
I mean, tell me what you think. You think that's okay?
Are you in fear of life that I was being him I'm sorry. I was being him being the hitman that took the contract on you.
But he's never made any statements to me to be the hitman. He's made statements to me that he's gonna whoop my ass if I get him wrapped in a dope case. He's gonna put me in a body bag if I get him wrapped up in a dope case. Uh, but man, he really acted a fool at my dad's house today. and I'm not gonna put up with it no more. I called him. I called him out on it. I called him on the phone. I said, "You're gonna apologize to me. I'm gonna put you in a suit. I got a piece of evidence here to put you in a suit. Call me, Larry. You better call me."
Apologize for the actions. Yeah.
Stop and think about it. John, you're a human being. You have emotions, you have feelings, you have wants, you have desires, you got dreams, you have goals, you have everything. You're a human being. It's human nature, okay? I would love to sit here and think that you went in it you went into it with 100% pure honor and being naive and hoping, that this and everything, but the fact of the matter is you got mad. You got into a situation, you reacted the wrong way.
Like I said, I mean,
You and you made
I,
you've made comments several times today, as far as training and this and that and the other. But the truth of the matter is you've never had any formal training whatsoever as far as the stuff you read and the stuff you heard.
well,
I mean, we've all been in our backyard and oh my gosh, and plinked with their dad or their grandpa with a little 22 rifle. You don't point it at nobody. Make sure you know what you're shooting at. Don't put your finger in the trigger when you with it when it's on fire. Make sure the gun's on safe.
make sure make sure there's not one in the chamber.
Right, and the pistol you had, it's actually a Smith and Wesson tactical uh, .09. Most people that go out and buy a gun for self-defense, I think they buy basically what the gun store tells them, be the best fit. But you bought a tactical at .09 because you wanted something a little better. You also put hydroshock bullets in it, okay? Most people that have a gun for home defense, and a prime example in your mom's gun, it just got little wad cutters basically in it, just jacketed rounds. Nothing special, it's basically a gun. Every American gun buyer, buys one for the house or whatever. Look at they look at price, they look at feel, how it feels in their hand, how their comfort level with it, and they look at what they've heard, what they see on TV or what they other friends of theirs have bought and stuff like that. You don't make a TC, a tick, basically a tactical decision to go out and buy one with adjustable night sights around 15 run capacity and that and the other.
I didn't realize all the features that the gun had.
But tonight, what happened last night is you were mad and you wanted to go fight him. You don't go fight somebody just because, you don't fight your friend because you all just want the freaking fantasy football league.
One though.
Yeah. Now fighting it never a celebratory fight. It's a celebratory thing.
No.
You were mad. You've had enough. You were gonna fight him. When you got there, your anger spilled over. You took what you thought was an opportunity presented itself, and you shot him. You shot him 8 times. You shot him in his butt because he's trying to get away from you. As he's trying to climb out of that car, you're shooting that man in his ass. That is not protecting yourself. That's killing a man. That's murder.
Okay, like I told you, rounds.
And the guy that's with you lies to us tonight. He doesn't inaudible. I was in my bed by 10.
He doesn't want to get involved like that.
Yeah, but that's your
That's the facts.
that's your savior.
You know, that's the facts. What happened?
And we're going to get him now. What are we going to do? What are we going to do when we go get him and he says, "Man, it was messed up. We pulled up there and freaking John just started shooting. I don't know what the hell he's going on. I don't know what the hell's going on. What will you do then?"
I can't tell you. He was sitting in the passenger seat, just like I said, and I've been told that
I don't think,
what you
and I think in your mind,
and I honestly thought
you're it.
that he was reaching, or I would not have.
Well, we know now he wasn't.
Hindsight's 2020. I
Yeah, but we don't have hindsight.
I know, but I'm just saying, I mean,
Man, we don't have hindsight. We're not allowed hindsight.
that was.
You're allowed more hindsight than I'm allowed.
Well, I understand as a police officer that you have less rights than a civilian, but
And
like I said, that fear was there, and it wasn't that I had motive or premeditation or anything to do that.
well, there is some premeditation there due to the fact that you leave your house to go to a fight
Which I thought would be justified.
and you take a gun with you.
Yeah, it was my mom's truck, my mom's gun. It's any truck.
That Smith and Weston's not your mom's gun.
The tactical .09, yeah, that's my mom's gun, and that's the end of pause. Part 4. Okay, so back to the detective.
But she told me earlier that's your gun.
Well, it is, but I was gonna go.
She may have put it in.
Oh, so she may have put it. Sorry, say it again.
She may have put it.
To the range and with her.
Did your mom buy you that gun?
Excuse me?
Did your mom buy you that gun? Yeah.
It's.
Do you have something in your history that prohibits you from having a gun?
No, sir.
Okay, no domestic violence orders.
They were old ones, but they were dropped a long, long time ago.
Any mental health issues?
Well, I had to go see, doctor because of, some stress-related issues due to.
So basically, if you filled out a yellow form, you'd have to answer to a couple things that might keep you from getting a gun.
I don't really think that I would have a problem with it. I mean, I haven't looked at one in a long time, but
Uh-huh.
I mean, it's not anything but
That's your gun. You're the only one that shoots it. You're the only one that ever has it. Your mom didn't take don't take it and shoot it.
no, sir.
That's your gun, ain't it?
Pretty much so, sir. Yeah, like I said, the stuff that you said about it.
That's what I'm that's what I'm talking.
I didn't know that it had all that.
Okay, that's but that's what I'm talking about. That right there. You want me to believe you 110%, and that right there was an attempt at deception. You was getting ready to put that gun on your mom. This happened to be in your mom's truck and just
Well, I mean,
lo and behold, it was there. That gun wasn't in that truck all day today, yesterday.
no, I don't think it was there all day.
You placed that gun in the trunk.
Well, like I,
That's a yes or no question, John.
yeah, I placed it in there, but
Needless.
it was earlier in the day, but
Before or after you and Larry got into it?
it was before, but
Did you how did Larry end up at your dad's house last night?
well, because like I said earlier on the tape,
You called.
his father
Yeah, but I mean,
and my father were good friends, and he come by to see him, and I just called him in the other room and told him that I would appreciate if you would be,
'cause you had enough of him.
stay away from here, because I realize that let's say it again, stay away from here, because I realize that
You had enough of him, and your David Blah buddy. I mean, didn't he just catch a dope charge?
I don't know.
Yeah, he did.
You know, I don't know. Dave's done some dumb things in his life, as far as drinking and stuff like that. He was supposed to be on Louisville's Most Wanted at one time, because he didn't show up for court.
And see, that's one thing. You can't, you keep invoking, your ties with law enforcement and such, but you're hanging out around criminals. Everybody around you's criminal. Everybody you hang out with, everybody that's been in your car on a social basis are criminals. They're all in a dope game. They're all doing stuff they shouldn't be doing, and you can't do that. You can't ride the fence. You made a decision tonight. Wait a second. You made a decision tonight that you'd had enough.
Well, like I said,
Yes or no? You had enough, hadn't you?
yeah, because I thought he was the one that was inaudible.
But there was never any statements from him that indicate that he's going to put a hit on you. There were statements on him that if you rat me out, I'm going to beat you up. I'll kill you. I've heard my 4-year-old kid, I'll kill you. It's not something that they hear TV,
Other people,
other people,
gangs, and
stupid stuff like that. And you say it and it's not, think about it. We've got how many people living in the city of Louisville? Several 100,000, I can assure you last year, say 10% of them made the statement, I like to just kill him. Something they see on the news, something that happened to them personally, something they hear about, something they read about, and they make the statement. But out of the 10%, they don't go and kill that person. They say it out of anger, say it out of rash judgment and everything. Tonight, you'd had enough. Tired of the dope game, tired of them being around you, tired of them messing with your life. You had a guy that you identified. You put a face on the wrong tonight. You put a face with it, and the face was Larry Blah. And you was gonna go fight Larry Blah. And lo and behold, you took a pistol and went too far. You can't expect to go to a fist fight and take a pistol. It's either gunfight or fist fight. It ain't both. Well, tonight it was both. One person showed up with a fist, one person showed up with a gun.
well, like I said,
And he lost his life.
I honestly thought he was reaching.
You've seen officers indicted for shooting a man inaudible or indicted, and that man had a gun. This man didn't have a gun, and you shot him as he was trying to get away from you because you pull up, you see him, he's getting out of his car, like he's going to get out of his car. John, what the hell? Dude, let's quit. Let's quit all this. We've known each other our whole lives. Our dads were friends. I don't want to go to prison. You called and told me I needed to apologize to you. I'm sorry. Keep me out of it. I don't want no part of it. Yeah, I've got a problem. I smoke weed and take pills. But leave me out of you and your ex-wife stuff. I don't want to go to jail. I'm done with it. Leave me alone. But instead, as he's getting out of the car, makes noise.
Like I said, at the same time, though,
You got a guy who's got a degenerative spinal condition. His spine's eating away at him. That's why he's disabled. His spine's destroying itself. Getting out of the car. John, you went to a fist fight with a gun. You made statements, you just worry me real bad with the fact that you was going to put that gun on your mom. Right now is the time to tell the whole truth and nothing but the truth, because I know you believe in responsibility. You made the statement, responsible for your actions. You made a mistake, take responsibility for it.
that's why I'm cooperating, making my statement, and
But I want the truth. The full true statement, not 60% true. You knew when you took that gun out there with you, if he got out of the car, you was going to pull that gun and scare him, weren't you?
no, I was going to pull that gun unless he come out with his because, as I said,
What if he got you? What if y'all got out and started fist fighting and he got you down, started beating you real bad? Would you got the gun then?
no,
Would you took that gun with you because you were going to fight him? And if you needed that gun, you were going to have it, right?
I took in case the fact that he's been known, and I have.
You took the gun with you because you were going to fight him, and if you needed a gun, you was going to have it there with you.
And he had his gun, and like I say,
Exactly. I carry one every day. I carry a gun every day. You know why I carry one every day?
it's your job.
In case I need it. In case I need it. Now, do I want to use it? No.
Nobody ever wants to use a gun. I did not want to.
But you took it.
But
You took it in case you needed it. You made a conscious decision to take a gun with you.
because
To a fight that you knew was going to be a fight, wouldn't be nothing else but a fight in your mind.
but I also knew in the back of my mind what he had said that he
But you went up there to fight him.
well, actually he told me to meet him there, so
And you went. If I'm scared of somebody, if I think I'm gonna if I think I'm gonna go get, I I'm an average Joe citizen. I'm gonna go get in a shootout. I'm not going. I'm gonna go get in a fight in Audible. I'm not going. I'm 37 years old. I got 3 kids and a wife. Them days is over. Now when I was 13, 14, 15, I'm gonna whip your ass. Let's do it. I'm 37. I'm gonna kick your ass. Man, I want you to stop and think about what you're talking about. Look at the age on us and quit jacking around. Quit being a teenager. We don't do that anymore. Look, if you got a problem with me, cool. Stay away from me. Guess what? I'm going to stay away from you. I ain't real happy with you anyway. You've done it in the past. Everybody's done in the past. A month down the line, the phone rings. Hey man, this is Billy. That was stupid, man. You're right. Come on, well, let's get together sometime. All right, that's it. But tonight, you got a guy and you're mad that you're mad at, that he comes in your dad's house doing some stuff he don't need to be doing. You've lost your wife, you lost your marriage due to the lifestyle that they're living, and apparently you've made statements prior to him to let him know that he's in trouble with your wife. Because he wouldn't just come over and out of the blue say, man, you got me indicted. I'm going to put you in a body bag. That ain't going to happen. You can't just come over tonight and just out of the blue, hey, John, what's up, man? You got me indicted. I'm going to put you in a body bag. You've already told him, I got you. You're going to jail. I'm going to put you in jail. Please come and get you. And you use the fact that you ride around with some police officers where you think you got some bump. You want him to think that too. You drive a car that looks like a police car. You drive a car
That's a charity.
I know it's a charity, but you got a guy that's on, that don't know that. I mean, not everybody. There's thousands of people every year that donate to the FOP, but they don't drive a car. They don't drive a car that looks like a police car. They don't drive a car that's marked up. That would appear to have some affiliation with the police department. They don't, my mom and dad, they got a little sticker in their car, There's hundreds and thousands of mothers and fathers across the nation that are inaudible. They got a sticker in their window, real small thing, but you made the statement. You've had to have made the statements before yesterday. Larry, you're going to jail. I'm gonna get you out. I'm gonna get out. It didn't just come out of the blue. He wouldn't know that you had that stuff if you hadn't said something to him previous.
I hadn't said anything to him.
You've never said anything?
I had not said anything to him. Is
not directly to him. You've said stuff about him to other people to let him know he was in trouble. You told that to other people.
She had told him
you're gonna get.
I was gonna snitch on him.
Exactly.
And that's her way of getting stuff stirred up.
But you were gonna snitch on him.
Well, I mean, I didn't have to snitch on him. Pause. Okay.
Oh.
So we are now. Should we close all these? Okay, we'll take a small. We're gonna get new. And Juniper, welcome, Juniper. We're gonna add you to the blue team. Just be careful for the people, unless they're new. If there's people that have been around and they don't have a wrench, it's usually for a reason. So, but welcome. We're done with part 1. I can close this down and then, or do you want to open up the second one and I'll grab you a drink? Water? Glass of water? Okay. I will be right back and I will leave you with some crappy techno music just as filler. I think let's put this one on. I have this turned down. Oh, I'll be right back.
Oh, is this is this the oh.
Maybe keep the brown, or maybe keep it out of the or maybe that one over. Got it. Okay. All right. All right, guys. Yeah. So this is we've got a little intermission here. We're on 56 pages of 100, so we're a little past halfway. If you're keeping track at home, following along. Hello, Angela. I'll try not to be too spurty. We're gonna cut this one. We're gonna try to keep it professional. I was gonna see if we could get through all of it in one fell swoop. So I think we may. We are, God willing, we're more than halfway, like I said, and all that good stuff. So yeah, just big takeaway. I'll kill this music. That he seems like he's trying. At first he's really trying to he thinks he's got it. He's trying to talk his way out of it. I think now the detective is turning it around a little bit, like making him feel kind of rubbing his face in it. But honestly, I think the detective probably, with all that John's given him, he probably could have went harder. I guess they probably know each other. Maybe there's some sort of good old boy shit going on here, but I can't imagine me making some talking to a detective without counsel and making these type of statements and not having. I mean, it could be worse, is all I'm saying, in my opinion. So, and then this just John. I mean, he drove a truck up there, right? So, I guess inferring he must have a Caprice too. So John's one of these guys that drives around in the former cop car. Oh, thank you for exposing the channel out there, putting my chat out there. Nice. And I'd heard this, but actually, reading it is quite enlightening. This guy is real class act. And then he's hanging out with all these fucking drug people, and then he's trying to act like he's some sort of well, I've been on ride-alongs. Then he's trying to say that he learned from the military, but he clearly, he's saying that he got trained from the military. What, was he watching YouTube videos? You get do basic training at home? What did he do? So we are at part 6. I feel like my girlfriend's been kind of coughing. I have some cough drops here for I got a surprise. If we get through this, I've got a surprise for her. Nothing major. A little surprise. It's not a ring, don't worry. It's not a ring, don't worry. Just knock that one out of there. Let's disqualify that idea. Okay, I'll tell you. I got her. Listen. Baby? Okay, you're fine. I got her a white belt. Because I've got her a gi, but I never bought her a belt before, so I officially bought her white belt to finish her gi. But we've only trained no gi and some striking and stuff, and workouts. But okay, I'm adding JFK. I believe you're a good person, so unless you're not, you will have a wrench. We give pretty much everyone a wrench here, except for a few people. And we generally, just to be fair, I vote on it. I do a community poll if we're going to take someone's wrench. I don't do it by accident. And usually it's for extreme circumstances and stuff like that. So, but yeah, so when I went out to the store earlier to get food, I ran over to the fight store really quick. But only if she gets through the 100 pages. Don't tell her. Luckily, she's not looking at the chat. No spoiler alerts. I think I hear her rendezvousing. So, yeah, this is crazy, and I can't believe this guy gets off on manslaughter. With like this. I mean, and then he's trying to, he's like, "Oh, it's my mother's gun." After he just fucking shot somebody with it, what a fucking dick! And I think, it sounded like 8 times. I think Philemon countersignaled me on. I said he was shot 8 times, and Philemon said 11. Sounding like it was 8, which is what my initial reaction. So we might have to. If Philemon gets a break on this one, we'll wait till he comes back to pick up. It's fine there that it won't spill any records, I don't think, so. That's done. You're in. Okay, you good? You ready? Okay. So,
The debris is like coming on my hair.
The calls. Wait. So the last thing John said, and we add calls.
Okay. But you were gonna tell. Given the opportunity, you were gonna tell, and I don't hold that against you. I wish more people would tell. I really do. Then we wouldn't have this, and we'd have less with. It's always be there, but we have less of it. But you made a decision to confront him tonight. You've had enough of it. Hey, you don't need to come around my dad's house anymore. Get out of the blue. According to you, I mean, you've never told him you was gonna snitch, and y'all hadn't been fussing and fighting prior to this last night. Hey, it hit the bricks. But then you know that your ex-wife is telling him, John's gonna tell on you. So you confront him head on. John, I think if 100% of the truth be known, and I'm not, once again, do not take this personal. This is just business, okay? No matter what Larry Blah was, he didn't deserve to die up there in a car like that. He didn't deserve that. If he was going to get in trouble by the law, then the law has the right to put him in prison, even if he's selling 100 pounds of weed a day. That's not enough to kill him. No longer country, the United States, is that a death penalty case.
I understand that.
And telling you that he's going to whip your ass.
Well.
And kill you.
Inaudible.
It's inaudible to take his life. It's not. You'd had enough. You got mad. You went up there.
But I had no intentions of.
You took a gun with you.
But I had no intentions of.
But you had intentions that if you needed it, it was there.
If he drew on me.
Which he didn't.
Like I said, I honestly was.
Stop and think about it. Now you're gunning a car, and in the course of gunning that car towards his car, you got the mindset to reach back, grab that pistol, come up, come to stop, make sounds that don't hold water. That gun wasn't in the back seat. That gun was in your lap.
It was like I said, right there.
It wasn't in the back seat.
And
it wasn't in the back seat, wasn't it? Was it? Tell me the truth. Don't start lying to me now. You're getting along great. If you start lying to me, though, it wasn't in the back seat, was it?
Chris, it was in the door down.
Don't lie to me again, John. Don't. I got a lot of respect for you.
It was
to come in and man up, but you're gonna have to man up 100%.
Well, manning up, it was down in.
You had it.
where the door thing is.
You made up your mind today, after he left your dad's house, I'm doing this no more. I'm not living this way. I'm not having my life ruined this way. I'm not losing my marriage this way. I'm not losing my kids every night this way. I'm not losing my house. I've had enough of him. I've had enough of him. This shit ends tonight. This ends tonight. One way or another, this ends tonight. I'm done.
Like I said,
That's what went through your mind, ain't it, John?
no, sir, I wasn't Chris.
You were ending this tonight.
I
This is going to be done one way or another tonight. One way or another, if you got killed, it was all over for you. Rest in peace, it's done, right? If you but if you killed him, I think I can do it and I think I can live with myself. But you found out you couldn't live with yourself. That right there says a lot about you. You're not some stone cold killer. Please understand that.
I'm not. And like I said, when you tried,
And you made a mistake tonight. You made a tragic mistake tonight, John. Like I said, this is not personal. This is just business. I hate the fact that I've got a dad with their kids sitting across from me, and you got to a point to where you had enough of it and you decided tonight to take it to your own hands. I wish you hadn't have, and I'm glad you're set. You're talking to me so somebody else don't take it to their own hands for what happened.
I wish I.
There's a judicial system. We got to pay for our sins to society. We've got to pay for them tonight to right time in your time to confess what you've done and to fix it. I'm not going to tell you you're not going to go to prison. I'm not going to tell you you're not going to go to jail tonight. You're going to jail tonight. I can't help that. I can't tell you you won't go to prison. I don't know what a jury will do.
Well, like I said, or no, well, like I told you before, I honestly thought he was the hitman.
Well,
And
if I'm a police officer, okay? Let's take that. I'm an average citizen. I happen to know a lot of police officers. Whatever it is, somebody's going to kill me because my ex-wife's stealing. Because somebody's going to kill me because my ex-wife's stealings. She's in the dope game.
she's going to collect my life insurance policy.
So what, dude? Just get on the phone, call some of them police officers I know. Hey, man, old lady's nutted up, dude. She's going to smoke and maybe get my life insurance. I think they're trying to kill me. Could you help me out? I've heard from more than one person that she's going to have me killed to collect my life insurance. What do I need to talk about? Who do I need to talk about? You know anybody you can put me up with? Not a guy I've known since grade school comes to the house. You hear what he's running with your wife. You hear that he's running with your wife. He's buying pills from your wife. Well, let me explain something to you. If he's a high roller, then your wife's a Mac daddy because she's selling him dope. All right. So your wife's higher up on the food chain than he is because he's buying her his dope from her. So that makes him a pill head. So he comes to my dad's house for a social visit, going pretty smoothly. Larry, you need to leave. You might be the hitman. In the back of your mind, you might be the hitman. Larry, you need to go. The phone rings a couple hours later. Meet me at the village car wash. So the hitman's gonna have you meet him at a car wash, this out of the blue, and you go. That don't hold water. If you got this much fear, of being killed because your wife's put you on ya, and you're going to your murderer. You're going to, I tell you what, I'm gonna put my gun out my door. I'm gonna take the son of a bitch out before he gets me.
That wasn't my intention.
That's what you did.
Like
That's what you did,
I said, I mean,
John.
you said he had degenerative
Spinal.
spinal thing. I mean, or no, a spinal thing. I really didn't know what was going on.
Nobody, and you don't know. Nobody knows.
And
He's this big old guy. He's on disability because of his back, because his spine's degenerating, and his stomach's no good. He's borderline crippled. Just had a consult last week for back surgery. John, you've attempted to deceive me twice. You're still attempting to deceive me. You went up there, and intentions last night that was the end of it. You was gonna finish this last night. One way or another, this is over. You're gonna show him, I'm not scared of you. Here I come. I'm coming. Fight me.
I had no intentions of.
But you took a gun and you had it in the door prandle, and the door panel. The door is readily accessible to you. You charge at a guy when you're driving straight out. You're reaching down, grabbing this gun, or worse, get now. It gets worse. It gets worse. You read articles, you've prepared yourself for situations like that. You thought it out. See, you had that. You had the gun position in a spot that you practiced.
That's not something you really practice or inaudible.
Oh, it's something you practice.
I mean,
it is something you.
I mean, I'm being.
Well, when go out here and ask some officers out here on the street, when a bad thing happens, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? You got guys that carry guns on their ankles. You got guys that have an extra gun in their car that they can't get this one out because of the seatbelt. They've got a gun on the front seat and a map pocket in case they're sitting there within a ticket and a guy runs up on them in no time. They just reach and grab. They prepare themselves. So one or two things. You prepared yourself for last night. You thought it out and you were prepared, which I don't think you were.
I don't think.
Or you're telling me that while your gunman
You're gunning.
while you're gunning the car directly at another human being, another car, you got the mindset to reach down and grab the gun by muscle memory, come up, stop the car, and start shooting. That's what you're telling me? You got the muscle memory and the mindset to know the position of the gun, which you don't have it in the door panel all the time, according to you, right? It's not always there. It's in the car and in the open where an officer could see it from concealed to carry. Wouldn't you argue that would be a considered location within the car? Officer walks up in your window, makes sound. Sir, I need your license, registration, proof of insurance, All this over here is visible because this is the passenger compartment. But unless I got x-ray vision or can look straight down in your car, see, that's going to tell leaning in, which is unsafe practice, A lot of issues there. That gun's concealed. If you got the door open, standing at the door, you still got access to the gun. That gun was placed there for a particular reason. You provide it to provide you access for it when you meet up with Larry, wasn't it?
It wasn't like I planned.
It was placed there. It was placed there for quick access in case you needed it when you met up with Larry, wasn't it? That's a yes or no question.
Well, it's not exactly a yes or no.
No, it is. That's a very clear-cut question. It's very clear.
It was there if my life was threatened.
That is exact. That is the same exact. You're rewording the same statement. That gun was there in case you needed it when you met up with Larry. Yes.
It's just he had pulled the gun, yes.
That gun was there in case you needed it when you met up with Larry.
It was there because
Yes or no?
yeah, it was. It was.
Okay.
Hold on a second. It was there. I had no intentions of firing on him, and then
You had every intention of firing upon him when you got there.
well,
You had every intention, and in your mind, you'd made up what if you tell yourself long enough, it becomes real, okay? But this ain't real, John. This ain't real. You pulled up there. You're mad. You've had enough. This is ending tonight. It's done. Claps hand. This is done. This life, it's kicking my ass. It's ruining my life. I'm done. I've had enough. Yeah, Larry, I'm gonna come fight you. And you got there, and you're in over your head. You're in over your head. You can't help it. You're committed. What have I got myself into? He goes to get out of the car. You gun your car towards him.
towards the door so it'll get back.
Towards the door to push him back with his car.
I had no intentions of hitting his vehicle.
No, I'm not saying you did, but you did it in a manner where you can get close on
To get an
on
advantage
him
on
to
him.
get an advantage on him to keep it from coming out of the car to keep it from coming out of the car. You have to climb all the way over, and you don't say a word to him. He doesn't say a word to you. Nothing said whatsoever. You produce a handgun and start shooting him. Now, let's flip it. You're Larry. I'm gonna go meet John. He says he wants to fight. I'm gonna go fight him. Getting out of the car, all of a sudden, son of a buck charged towards me in his truck, thought he was gonna hit me, jumped back in the car to protect myself, and next thing you know, I'm shot 8 times. You can't articulate it, John. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't match. You went up there. This is gonna end tonight. It's done. It was. It's over. I'm sitting here looking at you, and I know I'm right. I know I'm touching on the right issue because it's right on the tip of your tongue. This was a done deal tonight, wasn't it?
No, not really, sir. It wasn't. I'm not an aggressor.
It is now.
If it's
It is now. It's a done deal now.
it's
Because you shot the man 8 times out of fear and anger. Anger took you there.
that's something I'm gonna have to live with for the rest of my life. Didn't do it.
Yes, you will. Yes, you will. Anger took you there. Anger took you there. But when you got mad, you also took a gun with you. And there's no way that you can ever say, I went to a fist fight and just happened to take a gun with me, you know. You say Larry had carried guns in the past.
He's always been known to carry them. I mean, like I told you, I've seen him with them before.
You know, you carry a gun with you?
Not here until recently.
Well, that's where we're at. Then after you do this takes place, you go home and dismantle the gun and attempt to hide it. People that get involved in self-defense situations, they don't go hide their gun. They don't go attempt to dispose of their clothing. They don't take their clothes off, put them in a bag, and put them in a vehicle that happens to be...
I was scared.
Yeah, you were scared to get caught.
No, the whole situation scared me.
I know it did, but you also didn't want to get caught. You don't want to go to jail. You've made several statements, you know. I don't want to be on TV. I don't want to lose my job. I don't want to lose my chance of free masonry. I don't want to lose my kids. Nobody does, because they don't want to get caught. If they don't get caught, then they don't lose those things.
Yeah, but what?
But you screwed up tonight when you called him and tell him you're going to kill him.
I didn't say I was going to kill him.
I've got about 5 people that says you did call him and say, I'm going to kill you, I'm going to shoot you.
I mean,
I've got about 5 people that's their statement, you know. You think about it, this happened at what, 1:30, 2 o'clock in the morning, and I'm knocking, I'm at your dad's
pause. Okay.
house a little bit after 6.
No, it was later than that.
Well, a little bit before 7 then.
It was actually it was dark, so I'd say it was probably close to 11:30 maybe. You know, maybe 10:30.
But last night.
I said
last night when you shot him?
No, when he was at my dad's house.
Okay, but I'm saying you and him have an altercation, you shoot him, and then I'm at your dad's house 4 or 5 hours later. Everybody in town, every one of his friends, every one of his family members, John shot him. He went to meet John at Village Car Wash. Him and John,
I think it's John.
John been fighting. One of his friends said John says he's going to get him indicted.
That's probably the same that walked out to the trailways inaudible, he said.
No, it was a guy that when you called him at the house, you know, you called him 3 times last night. Larry, you need to call me. Part of your story sort of makes sense. Part of it don't. I know for a fact you went up there to end it one way or another. You took the gun with you. Maybe you took it with him to scare him. You get the drop on him. Next time I see you ever threaten me again, I'll blow your head off. And then
what it was, I mean, I was just...
You had it there.
I had it.
In case you needed it. You had it there in case you started losing. You're gonna end this tonight, no matter what. This is over with tonight. There's nothing you can say that will change my opinion on that. You'd had enough of it. You're tired of it. This is done. He's not coming in your dad's house and disrespecting you. He's not going to be involved with the downfall of your marriage. He's not going to be involved with your life going south. You've had enough. You identified Larry as one of your problems, and you went to take care of that problem tonight.
Put it that way, I mean, it sounds worse than what it was, or what it... Sorry. Put it that way, I mean, it sounds worse than what it...
Then tell me the whole truth.
Well, I mean...
Because that's what a jury will see, John.
I know, and Chris, I've told you.
You took...
That
Did you or did you not make a conscious decision to take that gun with you? Yes or no?
It was there.
Did you make a conscious decision to take it with you?
Yeah, because it was in the truck, and
you made the decision to take it with you in case you needed it.
In case he was going to draw on me, because he made the statement that...
But... Then you got up there, and you got scared, and you drew first.
Well, like I was telling you, Chris, I honestly...
You didn't give...
I thought he was reaching.
But you can't honestly think that that's what's gonna happen. We can't honestly, you can't, I had a guy stick a gun at a door frame with me on the other side. He kept door standing like that. I didn't see the gun. I knew what was going on. I knew that he had a gun pointed at me, but there was no way ever that I could articulate that I saw a gun through a solid steel door. And lo and behold, once we got him arrested and everything, he had a gun pointed at me through the door. I cannot articulate any legal fashion to have shot him without lying, without telling half the truth.
Well, I'm telling you, it was not my intention to shoot him.
But what it scared me though is you left out you've attempted to see me.
End of side B, tape 1, beginning of side A, tape 2. 10:36.
10:36 hours. Had to do a tape change due to the other previous tape. Tape 1 running out of space. I'm still conducting an interview with Mr. John Davis Jr. I'm Detective Chris Middleton.
You forgot John M. Davis, and technically it's M.L. Lamar, but it's M. Sorry. Don't forget the Lamar. Well, don't forget the M. Sorry. I'll shut up.
I'm just getting tired. I'm Detective Chris Middleton, homicide interview room number 1. All right. Now, when the tape last stopped, before we start, once again, for the second record on this tape here, you've given the statement of your own free will.
I signed the Miranda rights. Read them. You're not coercing me or
No promises or no threats.
made to mean threats. Prom. You know this. This is.
And this is done of your own free will, correct?
Yes, sir.
All right, John, it's very, very important that we have everything out in the open, everything on record, everything truthfully on record. The reason being, one of the persons that you provided as a witness to tonight's events is currently here and they're being questioned. Okay? As to their knowledge of the events that as you provided them, right now is the time for you to make sure that you're being 100% truthful and honest with me, because you're taking a huge chance that that person's going to tell the same exact story that you told me. That's not a thing I'd put my faith in. Along with what you're talking about, by your own statements, you hang out with a lot of people that would be criminals, that are criminals. They live a criminal lifestyle, whether it be drugs, theft, whatever. I wouldn't put my trust in those type of people. If you ever hang out with people that never been in trouble before, didn't search it out, yeah, I take my chances. But you're not doing that. So right now, the time to be completely truthful with me. So now's the time to be completely truthful with me. When we finished talking a while ago, or when the tape stopped a minute ago, we were talking about the gun. You made the decision to take the gun with you, and the reason why I know you made that decision is the fact that what type of ammo did you have it in?
Hydroshocks.
Okay, who usually uses hydroshocks?
Law enforcement people that are
Why do they say hydroshocks?
self-defense tactic.
Why do they use hydroshocks? What's a hydroshock known for?
Well, it mushrooms out.
It's a very, very lethal round, wouldn't you say?
Still that pop, like the spike in the center.
But it's a very lethal round. That's what it's known for, is to cause death, right?
Any ammo is gonna cause death,
but
but the hydroshock is
it's considered more efficient. It's more capable of causing greater injury, right?
yes, sir.
Okay, so you didn't have that to hunt rabbits with. You didn't have it locked in the house, that once again, that goes back. We we got one or two things. You've read enough and heard enough about it to be, for lack of a better term, you know, just enough to be dangerous. You know what I'm saying? And I don't say that just about this situation, but just enough about electricity to be dangerous. Just enough about riding a motorcycle to be dangerous. You feel comfortable with what you've got and what you're using, right?
Like I said earlier, sir, I guess I'm Chris.
You're fine.
I didn't realize all the features of the handgun.
Did you pick it out?
Yeah,
How long have you had that?
a couple of
A
weeks.
couple weeks?
Because, I stopped driving my Camaro because it was, everyone knew that a Camaro, and whoever was that, they had gotten somebody, they would know that.
How long ago did you junk your truck?
Junk my truck?
Yeah, your Ford.
Oh, that Ford, that's been gone since for about 4 or 5 years ago.
What cars do you currently own?
Huh?
What cars do you currently own?
I currently own the Supporting Heroes Camaro and Toyota Corolla, and I own a '79 Chevrolet Malibu that's historically tagged. It's in the middle of, restoration, that you have to fix this and fix that in order for it to be a show car.
Mm-hmm.
And, my son's got a car in my name,
What's he got?
it's a Thunderbird, it's in my name, but it's not my car really. It's got a hot rod. It's got a rod knocking in it because he run it low on oil.
Well, tonight you and Larry got in an argument. During the course of that argument, there were some statements made by both parties. You just indicated that you would have him indicted, put him in a suit, and according to you, you mean a jailhouse suit. Larry in turn tells you he's gonna whoop your ass, says he's gonna kill you.
Put me in a body bag.
Put you in a body bag. So instead of letting it go, phone calls were made, decisions made to meet for the purpose of a fight. You and another guy go to meet Larry. He's by himself, correct?
Yes, Larry was in the car by himself.
All right. Why'd you take the other guy with you?
As a witness in case anything went wrong.
Something definitely went wrong.
And
But if you start losing, the other guy's gonna jump out and help you with him.
no, sir,
He knew there was a gun in the car, didn't he?
no,
Be very careful.
he didn't.
Be very careful.
I understand what you're saying and where you're going with it, but no, it.
He knew there was a gun in the car. You told him.
Yeah, well, he knew it was there,
You told him it was in there.
but under no circumstances he was to.
If he starts whipping my ass, or if he gets me down, don't kill me. Don't let him kill me.
No, that would never come into play because
But you told him there was a gun in the car. David, I got a gun over here in the door panel, didn't you?
he knew it was there.
You told him, David, there's a gun in this door panel over here, didn't he?
Probably, yeah, he knew.
You told him that. You told him that David, there's a gun in the door panel, didn't you?
Not directly like you're implying, and
Well, it basically was, he knew that I had it with me. Oh wait, sorry.
no, you skip. Sorry. So rewind. Scratch that.
Well, tell me in your words how you said it.
Well, it was basically he knew that I had a gun with me. I said, I have a gun.
Did you walk out of the house with it?
Huh?
Did you walk out of the house with it? Did he see you walk out of the house with that gun?
It was in the truck when I walked out of the house.
Well, it was over in the door panel, right?
Yes, sir.
So he gets on the passenger side.
But the gun was on the driver's side.
So how would he see it if he was on the passenger side as you get in on the driver's side and it was down in the door panel?
It sticks out. I mean, you can see.
You told him there was a gun in the car.
Well, he knew, yes, but
you told him, tell me, were there any words?
some, yes.
Tell me the words you used to let him know there was a gun in the car.
Well, I mean, I told him, I said, right. I said, I think writes he was writing. So it's not a word, he's in quotation, so I think he's writing stuff down. Well, I mean, I told him, I said, writes, I said, it's here, and I said, I don't want to use it.
You don't what?
I don't want to use it.
But if I have to, I will?
But I didn't say if I have to, I will, but...
But in your mind, you're thinking, but if I have to, I will. Hey.
Worst case scenario, and...
Oh my gosh.
Take a pause. Okay, we're starting pause. We have 21 pages. 20, and there was 21, so we're about 4/5 of the way done, which is about 80%.
This one needs to get a little bigger.
Bigger?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, magnification. How do I?
You can do the
this
control
one?
plus, yeah.
200? Is that?
That's good.
Doing bigger.
Oh,
is that okay?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, take it.
Headphones are like hard on like that.
You said hard on. Okay, no, we're gonna be professional. She's not used to streaming, so the headphones on her. Do you want to try these ones?
Maybe.
Do you want to do a 712 switch here? Okay. And so 21 pages. Look, the end is near. We got this. We got this. We can't stop this. Yeah, just do a whole other stream for 21 pages. You're doing great, by the way.
Thank you.
I told you at the end that you can tell the detective takes over. So
Yeah.
I have some easy sound check. Am I okay, you guys? Loud and clear.
Smaller.
Yeah. Do you want to put on a winter hat? I could recommend, or a hoodie, and then they will kind of cushion your ears a little bit.
I have my hat right there. In the center.
Okay. I don't. Oh, that. Okay. Okay. So I readjusted because my face is different than hers. How's the audio? Could you hand me my phone, please? It's on top. Top. That one. Yeah. Okay. So take a break if you need. Is this the car wash killer deposition? Yes, this is the interview with the detective that John unintelligently did without counsel. Audio is perfect. Great. You two are doing great.
Thanks.
Thank you. And she said as well. Okay, so it says...
Okay.
Worst case... Oh, no, it's me. Worst case scenario, and...
You know,
okay, you're going to have to do this now, because now you're going to be the mouse girl.
Okay. You know, it's taken us 20 plus minutes to get to that point. It's taken us longer than that. It's taken us almost an hour. And this is a question I asked you an hour ago. John, if you're going to be so forthcoming with me, then answer my questions. I've had to sit here and spend an hour figuring out what words to use to get you to finally admit that you took that gun in case you needed it. Don't you remember me asking you that almost an hour ago?
Well, I mean, on the ride over,
I asked that.
over here, I told you, that was self.
You told me it was self-defense, and how many times have I stopped you on the way here? Because I told you on it, I wanted to make sure you were properly protected. I didn't want to talk about the case.
And I didn't say.
We talked about everything else. I told you over and over again, hold up, man. When we get there, we'll talk about it. You gotta have your Miranda rights. And realistically, I could have just let you keep on talking. By law, I can let you just keep talking, long as I don't ask you any questions, but I want the complete truth.
The complete truth is.
But no, I have to keep digging for the complete truth. I've got part of the truth.
I've had no intentions of using that until.
But you're gonna beat Larry, who's by himself. You're supposed to be by yourself, but you take David with you, and you let David know there's a gun in the car. I'm telling you, I'm gonna ask you this straightforward and straight out, and I want a straightforward, straight out answer. You went up there tonight with the intention of this ends tonight. This is over with. This is done. I'm tired of it. I'm not living my life this way anymore. I'm not running scared. I'm not putting up with it. I haven't done anything to deserve it. It's done. Didn't you?
Fist fight wise.
But you took a gun to a fist fight.
That's, what I said inaudible.
You had every intention of having that gun available in case you needed it, didn't you?
I had it available in case he reached for a gun and pulled it off.
That would be in case you needed it. These are yes, no questions. They're not essays.
In case it got to that.
Okay, in your mind, you were already there. It already came to that.
Well, in my mind, I didn't want to.
You can't tell me we could go back right now and recreate it. Whatever you want to do, you cannot pull up in that driveway because you made the statement yourself. The driveway, here's Old Third.
Yes, sir.
Okay, here's the entrance to the driveway. Goes up and it's at an incline. It's got a slight grade to it, and you can either go on around the back of the building drawing, this is Larry's car. Okay? And so you can either come up and there's what you call it, vacuum cleaners all down there, all down through there. And you've got the parking lot out here, and there's this gravel and stuff right here where Larry's parked at. So this is actually a little bit here. Well, we'll take it a little bit wider for you, okay? Little.
Yeah, it is a little bit wider, and actually the driveway there, that, it doesn't go back there, but it's more like I said, like that.
Here's Larry's car. So you and David, you all come in, and there's a grate up there. This actually is a little, almost like a berm for drainage purposes. So you all come in. Larry's got his door open. You automatically gun it.
He starts to open it, and
you automatically gun it. Get him stopped. Get him. Keep him from coming out of the car. You pull it right there. Pow, 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 pow. According to you, no words exchanged between either of you. Now, the evidence supports the fact that he's trying to bail out of the car from the passenger side. We can't change that. You shoot him right in the ass. Nobody sitting in a car like this gets shot in the ass. You shoot at him before you come to a complete stop. Evidence supports it. If you pull up right next to him, you're shooting directly, inaudible, turn sideways. He's facing that way. Boom, 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 boom.
Oh, that's...
Wait a second.
Okay.
You shoot before you even get there, because there's one goes through the door, through the open window, goes through the seat at an angle, and exits the back of the car. So you got to be shooting when you're like this, and either get out of the car and shoot like this, or you continue traveling, come to a stop, start shooting the car, then you burn rubber all the way around there, go into the gravel, tear it up,
Can I?
and take off on through here.
Okay, hold on a second. I'm not gonna be Picasso.
Look at me.
Yeah, but my truck was actually more so T and angle than straight on.
It had to be straight on at one point, or he was out of the vehicle when he shot him one time. Because you shoot him right in the butt, you had to be straight on him at one point.
At one, well,
Sometime.
I never got out of the vehicle.
All right, then you were straight on with him at one point. At one point, you'll was like this, and you're shooting him. Had to be. You shoot before he came to a final rest. You're sliding and shooting. You jam the brakes on and you start shooting. And when you come to a rest, he's balling out of the car. He catches one right here.
I,
And he's gotta, think about it, John.
well,
There's a lot of door handle there. I mean, a lot of door panel. So he's actually gonna be up like this, actually gonna be out of the car, and he shoot, because that door panel. What? And the door's not shot up. The car's not shot up at all, except the one that goes through the seat. All of them, all the rounds are in Larry. Excuse me.
well, it's like I was telling you about
But it can't be like you're telling me.
this angle here, and it was right up on his door, and I never got out of the truck. I like told you I slammed on the brakes and to where he would go back in the car cuz like I said before, I mean, I didn't exit the truck.
No.
And
You trap him in the car and you start shooting him.
I did not start firing until I see him go down like this, which I honestly thought
He thought he was hit, your truck. You were running a truck at him. You're running a John, it don't make sense, okay? You can't argue. I'm about finished talking with you because you won't come on and get 100% honest with me.
I I honestly thought he was reaching. I inaudible and
He's trying to save his life. He's trying to save his life. He's there for a fist fight. Goes to get out of the car for a fist fight. Next thing you know, he's got a Chevy truck coming at him full blast. He's got a right to save his life. By law, he had a right to shoot you. But you running up there and push him back in his car and open fire on him, you don't say nothing to him. He doesn't say anything to you. You just start shooting him. That's not self-defense, John. That's murder.
like I said, I honestly thought he was reaching.
You need...
And I reacted, but
That's not self-defense. That's murder. You want run a truck at somebody, trap them in the car to where they can't get out and start shooting them. You can't tell me coming up that incline, and I got the videotape out there to prove it, coming up that incline.
I told you I knew there was a camera there.
You can't come up you can't come up the video. You can't come up the incline where you're gonna up the incline. You're looking at, I don't know the degrees yet, but there's a degree angle that you look up in the sky, and you got a gun that just happens that you got placed right here next to you for easy access, hoping you don't need it. Bullshit. You don't put it somewhere where, If that's the case, it's in the back seat. It's under the seat. It's it's in the glove compartment. It's in a locked console. Cause you know what? When you introduce a gun, it's fair play. Just because you got a gun don't mean you're gonna keep that gun, unless you train to. To make sure you keep your gun, you're not. There's people that get killed with their own guns every day. You went up there to end it, an opportunity presented itself, and you ended it.
Told you that I honestly thought he was.
He didn't get a chance, John. He did not get a chance. That's why this is murder, not self-defense. He did not get a chance. He's getting out of the car, according to you, and you better hope that that Lindsay boy back here corroborates with your statement.
But
And I can assure you, he's not.
the video corroborates. As far as I know, I come up on the door.
Fast scrolling tires.
I mean,
I've got all the video of the tire marks.
yeah, I'm not lying to you about that. Cut me off. Something more time. Yeah, I'm not lying to you about that.
You know that, do you know that if you're standing 21 feet away from me and you've got a gun and a holster and I've got a pocket knife or knife and I charge you, you may get it out in time to shoot me. That's something that you train for. Now you got a 4,000 pound truck coming at your balls to the wall. You've never trained a day in your never trained a day in your life. You've never trained a day in your life. You've never spent a day in your life thinking, what am I going to do if this happens? Where's my exit point? Where's my safety area? What do I do? What do? You jump back in your car. You start climbing over because you know you're going to get hit in the door. You know you're going to get rammed. The car's death. You got to get away from it.
I told you that I honestly thought he was.
He didn't get a chance, John. He did not get a chance. That's why this is murder, not self-defense. He did not get a chance.
Wait, did we already read this?
Maybe. I think she's just repeating himself.
No, the video. I think. Can you scroll down? Wait, hold on. 9. Pause. Those fast scrolling tires. Okay, 21. Okay, maybe it's not. Maybe it's just redundant. Mm-hmm. Oh no! It's the same page. Look, 221. Oh, weird. 80. Maybe there is 86. 87. Okay, sorry. So fast scrolling. Sorry, that's you. Let's go back to scroll. Or no, yeah, we did the 3,000. We did that. Yeah, I think that's just a typo that the page got duplicated twice.
All right. But
it's the same. Yeah. Okay. 80. You've never trained a day in your life.
Okay.
You've never trained a day in your life.
You've never. Wait, where is it?
You've never trained a day in your life. You've never spent a day in your life.
Okay, you never trained a day in your life. You've never spent a day in your life thinking, what am I going to do if this happens? Where's my exit point? Where's my safety area? What do I do? What do? You jump back in your car. You start climbing over because, you're going to get hit in the door. You know you're going to get rammed. The car's death. You got to get away from it.
It's like...
when they did the autopsy this morning, they do this thing where they rod, and they stick a rod through the bullet hole, and it shows at what angle they shot at. So if you got an entrance wound here, an exit wound here, that's kind of bent over. And this door is open, and it supports the fact that he's trying to get away from you. He wasn't trying to fight you. He wasn't reaching for nothing to shoot you. He was trying to get away from you, John. He went to the same fight you went to, and he realized he'd got in over his head. He's the one that got in over his head, not you. You remember the tools. You remember the mindset, the tools to complete your mission. And your mission tonight was to put an end to this. You're tired of it. You want to quit messing with all the stope heads. You're tired of all this, the BS involved in it. There's too much stress. You go buy a gun 2 weeks ago, put the hydroshocks in it. You had enough.
Because, like I told you,
You had enough, hadn't you?
I, I, I was in fear of my life.
No.
As far as
No. You're not in fear for your life. That argument does not hold water.
I'm not, I'm not, I'm talking.
You go you go through a situation, you've got an audible wait, sorry. Wait.
Sorry,
You've got
I'm inaudible. So no, you said again. So you got, you go, you go, you go.
you go through a situation, you've got
Inaudible.
supposedly you've got a hit against you, pounds table, and you're gonna go see you're gonna go see the hitman. Bullcrap. Nobody in their freaking
And I'm not talking about this particular moment in time. My mindset said, well, I got, I, I didn't want to be.
so you're gonna kill him.
Can't.
You're gonna kill him. You're gonna kill him. That's it. It's over. It's over. It's done. I'm tired. Leave me the hell alone. Let me live my life. I don't do drugs. I don't do it. But lo and behold, everybody around me does do drugs. The guys that are living in my dad's house, that's a pair. Well, they're a pair of aces right there. You run this son of Buck off.
Inaudible.
You got a friggin' meth cook and some other goofball living in there with my dad who can't hardly get around, who realistically, and the house is in horrible shape. We got, I mean, look at my feet from going in there. It's all flea bites.
Well, that was from, as you know, the meth cook dog.
Damn dog.
His dog.
But that's, you're right in the fence, John. You're right in the fence. You present yourself as this friend of law enforcement and this, that, and the other. And then you close the door and you got everybody that we're trying to eradicate from the streets, everyone that we're trying to get off the streets, and society would be a better place. You know, we don't need meth cooks, we don't need dope heads, we don't need pill heads, we don't need a ton of things. You took it upon yourself tonight to get that off the street. That's what you did tonight. This is exactly what you did tonight. You will not change my mind. There's nothing you can change. Say that will change my mind. You could tell me the truth and quit lying to me. I'm telling you, I do this for a living. This is what I am.
I, I, I know you do.
And I watch. There's things your body does that you can't control.
Body language, yes.
And you're everything that you're doing and your everything that you're doing tells me that I'm close. I just haven't worded it right yet. I haven't worded it right. Just like, what we covered earlier, where you took it with you in case you needed it. It took me an hour. It took me and your to word it right, an hour I think to word it right. I wish that you just come on and tell me the full story and the full truth without me having to sit here and play word games for you. Because these tapes, they get introduced to a jury and they're going to show where I have to work and work and work and work and work for you to finally telling me the truth. And then you've lied to me twice and you're on your third lie now. I'm real close to getting up and walking out. I've got my case made. I know what happened. I can substantiate it with the evidence. And I'm going to have you sit here and lie to me. You went up there to end it. This was done tonight.
It wasn't like that though.
Then explain to me.
I mean, it. I mean it. It. It sounds like it. It looks like it, but it wasn't.
Well, if it walks like a duck and quacks like a duck, it's a duck.
Old saying, yes, sir.
Well, we've got a duck.
Inaudible, but
We've got a duck in there.
oh, sorry. That's it. You know, his door wasn't all the way shut on the driver's side, and then, like I said,
When I got up there, it was. Did somebody else take his gun? Did somebody else take his dope? Y'all didn't rob him, did you? Did he even get out of the car?
I've got
Let me see the bottoms of him. What's your boy worth wearing? Did either of you get out of the car after you shot him?
no,
Did one of you take the gun off of him?
no,
Did either one of you ever take any dope off of him?
no,
Any weed off of him?
no.
Well, then you don't inaudible a robbery, so we can that duck's head. But you go to meet him with the intentions of a fight, and you take a gun. You let your passenger know that goes with you that there's a gun in there in the car. You pull in to the parking lot. You make eye sight with him, and you immediately gun the truck. Your words exactly towards him, force him back in the car, and upon stopping your vehicle or sliding to a halt, you begin firing.
It
I can't do that crap.
it's
Even if I was allowed to do that kind of stuff, that's crazy. Do you realize that by doing that, that's a Saturday night, there's people coming home from out of town. I myself was coming home at 12 o'clock last night. My 3 kids was asleep in the car.
and then you got called in to do this?
No, my point is you got people there. You know, there's a lot of families in Prairie Village. I got friends of mine that I live in this village.
I do too.
And they're driving down Old Third to hit Valley Station to go back in there to start an audible. One of them back in there, and they got little Bobby and Jill and Jack in the car with them. And one of them bullets that you're firing in to the car misses the target, goes out to the street and hits one of the kids and kills him. Either you came to a complete stop, fired him up, or you got lucky as hell.
I came
You're shooting as you're moving.
I came to the stop like I said.
You shot once before. You had to shoot at least once before you come to a stop.
No.
Then you moved again after you shot him the first time, and he shot the first time. You moved the car forward and got better.
It's a clutch. I mean, as far as
Did the clutch pop?
I don't know. I can't remember that. I mean, the video will show you if I did or not, but like I was saying before, how this car was right there, okay? I'm coming up on the incline and I'm gunning it and he's opening up the door. I come up like that and stop because I didn't make any contact with his vehicle.
Man.
I mean, you can look and see there's no impact mark to the car.
But tonight you ended this and you made a conscious decision to end it, didn't you? You went there knowing it was going to end.
I thought I'd be in a fist fight, and then when I saw the reach, that's that's
There wasn't no reach. He don't have time to reach if he's jumping back in the car. He don't have time to reach if he's jumping back in the car.
like I said, Chris. Look, look at the video.
No, tell me the truth.
I told you.
He won't have time to reach if he's jumping back in the car. Your statements contradict your own statements, John. You're killing your own state. I don't have to do it for you. I can sit here and be quiet. You're going to do it yourself.
When I got up to a certain point, he went ahead and shut the door because he thought I was going to hit his car. That's the only thing I can figure.
He jumps back in the car. He's getting away from you. You made the first act of aggression. You made the very first and last act of aggression, John. You became judge, jury, and executioner tonight in your mind That's the point you're at right now. That is the point you're at, right?
Yeah, I wish I could change it because
There we go. You knew you were going and up there tonight to end this. It was going to end tonight, right?
my intentions was to end it with a fist fight, not
But you took a gun to a fist fight. You heard the old saying, don't bring a knife to a gunfight.
heard the old saying, sir, okay.
You brought a knife to a gunfight. He brought a fist to a gunfight. You went for a gunfight. He went for a fist. You were going to go up there and fist fight him. You weren't.
I was.
No, you weren't. If you was gonna fist fight him, he'd have fist fought he'd have fist fought him at your dad's house early tonight when you had all your buddies around.
The reason why
He punked you in front of your buddies.
I didn't hit him was because my dad was right there behind me.
But y'all walked off into a separate room by yourself. You said yourself you took him on.
Yeah, but when we was when we went back into the kitchen,
You got an old daddy that's called this guy tonight. Called his house and said, Larry, just let it go. Just let it go, Larry. You know your dad's not in good health. Don't drag him through this. No dad wants to see their kid do that. You don't want to see your son do that. Take responsibility for what you did. This is what you teach your kids. This is what your dad taught you. I don't know what kind of a guy your dad is. Apparently he's got a soft spot in his heart because he's let a bunch of idiots live around that old house. Don't don't go out like that. You became the justice system tonight in your mind.
I made a terrible mistake tonight.
Yes, you did. And I'm not saying you went out because I don't John, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying you're just some mean ass that goes out killing people, but I'm saying you got to a point tonight where you were tired of it and you went and fixed it. That's how you fixed it
No, I didn't fix it.
in your mind.
I fucked it up. Pardon my French.
But in
Chris. But if I screwed it up,
but I screwed it up.
but Chris, wait, Chris, but I screwed it up. That's what I said.
Sorry. But at the time this happened, this was fixing it for you. This was ending your problem. This was the end of your problem at the time. I don't know what the percentage is, but there's not a large majority of homicides that are premeditated and, they plan them out 6 months in advance. It doesn't happen that big of a time. I mean, it's opportunity, situations, surroundings that happens. And tonight you created an opportunity.
Tonight was bad. No, tonight was a bad
Situation.
Last night was a bad situation.
You offered by you calling back and everything and making a conscious decision to take the gun with you. You created opportunity. When you got there, a bad situation came out and you killed him. You killed him.
And like I told you, I honestly thought he was reaching.
He didn't have time. From what you're telling me, he don't have time to reach.
Cause I saw his hand like that. And I mean, that's why I reacted the way I reacted. I mean, you may not think it holds water, but
I don't think it holds water.
he went down like that with his hand.
I don't think it holds water at all because the matter of the fact is you took a gun to a fist fight and you made sure that your passenger knew there was a gun available. And you, from the very beginning, I asked you 15 times, did you say anything before you shot him? Did he say anything to you before you shot him? And it's been consistent one time. You never go up there. Man, you were back the hell up nothing. You went up there and pretty fired him up. You tear him up, man.
That wasn't my intention.
To hell, it ain't your intention. If you pull up there like that and you start shooting into a car, that's an intentional act. You mean to shoot that guy. John, you can't change that. I won't argue that a bit.
I cannot go back in time and change things.
I won't. You will not. Inaudible. No, you can't. And you made a conscious decision to pull up there and open fire on him,
B,
didn't you?
because I thought, like I said, because he went over there and come to find out what you said, he was trying to roll out of the car.
I mean, you're shooting him in the back and the butt and everything. The threat is done. You gotta be able to realize that. There's no threat there. There's no threat there. You know, the training and stuff that you talked about and thing, there's no threat there. It's gone. Even if you're hunting deer, you don't shoot him in the ass.
I didn't want to shoot him in his buttock, ass, or whatever you say. I mean,
But you did, because you pull up there and freaking open fire with a 0.9 mm full of hydroshocks that you bought 2 weeks ago. Sit tight. It's currently 11:15 a.m. I'm stopping the tape at this time. All right, stop the tape.
scroll down. Real quick. Oh, sorry. Or is that?
All right, stop the tape real quick. John, are you currently under the influence of any alcohol, drugs, or anything like that?
I haven't had anything to drink or anything like that. No.
Have you drank any beer?
No, sir.
Have you had any drugs?
I took my prescription medication,
Which is?
Valium,
How long ago did you take those?
about when the news come on, and I was wanting, like I said, to go on and call in.
Was you prescribed them by a doctor?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I'm going to stop the tape at this time, 11:15.
End of statement. Okay. And then what is the part 10? Okay.
Okay.
And we have, do you want to read the notice? Or do you want me to?
Maybe you can, because it had a lot of reading.
Okay. Yeah, totally fine. You did fantastic. Let me do a little put this here for now. I'll mute it in a minute. I don't know if you want to come back or not. But let me read. So, yeah, sure. Defendants let me roll up a little bit. Okay. This is a Jefferson Circuit Court Division 6, Judge O.L.U. Stevens, Judge Alu. The Commonwealth of Kentucky versus John M. Davis Jr. The plaintiff was the Commonwealth of Kentucky versus the defendant, John M. Davis Jr. And to Mark Baker, Office of the Commonwealth Attorney, 514 West Liberty Street, Louisville, Kentucky, 40202. Please take notice that the undersigned will tender the following motion order on November 16th, 2009 at the hour of 11 a.m. in the above courtroom. Defendant's motion in limine to redact prejudicial and immaterial information contained in the defendant's recorded statement. Comes the defendant John M. Davis Jr. by counsel Jeffrey B. Scora, and moves this court pursuant to KRE 103D and KRE 401 through 403 to order the redaction of the foregoing prejudicial material contained in the defendant's statement. This objectionable material consists primarily of comments made by Detective Middleton, while interrogating the defendant. This material would not otherwise be admissible at trial. Therefore, this is complained of. This is therefore this complained of material should not be admitted by the way of the defendant's statement. The publication of this material to the jury will deny the defendant the right to a fair trial as guaranteed by the 5th, 6th, and 14th Amendments to the United States Constitution and Section 11 of the Kentucky Constitution. The objectionable material as follows. The defendant was subject to a mental health evaluation and domestic violence orders. Middleton, okay, no domestic violence orders. Davis Jr., they were old ones, but they were dropped a long time ago. Middleton, any mental health issues? Davis Jr., well, I had to go and see, doctor because of, some stress-related issues due to ... That was one. And two, that David Lindsay as pending dope charges was on Louisville's Most Wanted, and the defendant hangs out with criminals who are in the dope game. 000183 and 000206. Middleton, and your David redacted buddy, I mean, didn't he just catch a dope charge? I don't know. Middleton, yeah, he did. Davis Jr., I know, Dave's done some dumb things in his life as far as, drinking and stuff like that. He was on Louisville's Most Wanted one time because he didn't show up to court. But you're hanging around criminals. Everyone around you is criminal. Everybody you hang out with, everyone that's been in your car on a social basis are criminals. They're all in a dope game. They're doing stuff they shouldn't be doing. And you can't do that. You can't ride the fence. Middleton. Along with you're talking about, by your own statements, you hang out with a lot of people that would be criminals, that are criminals. They have a criminal lifestyle, whether it be drugs, theft, whatever. Okay, and then 3, there, Larry Evans had a spinal condition. 000185 on disability, stomach's no good, borderline crippled, has a consult for back surgery. 000195. Middleton, he's on disability because of his back, because his spine's degenerating and his stomach's no good. He's borderline crippled. He just had a consult last week for back surgery. 4, that the defendant hangs out with criminals who live a criminal lifestyle. Middleton, by your own statements, you hang out with a lot of... Yeah, I think we've read that already.
Yeah.
Okay, and I'll say it. I think this is minorly different. By your own statements, you hang out with a lot of people that would be criminals that are criminals. They've lived a criminal lifestyle, whether it be drugs, theft, whatever. I would put my trust in those type of people. If you ever hang out with people that I've been in trouble with before, didn't search it out, but I'd take my chances, but you're not doing that. References to meth cook and flea bites. You got freaking meth cook and some other. Also, there's and the house is in horrible shape. We've got, look at my feet going in there. It's all flea bites. Sorry, I can't stop doing the accent now. That was Davis Jr. That was from, as you know, the meth cook's dogs. Damn dog. His dog. 6, and then okay, this is almost done. So okay, then there's more. 6. The defendant's actions put children in danger. Do you realize that by doing that Saturday night, there's people coming home from out of town? I myself was coming home at about 12 o'clock last night. My 3 kids was asleep in the car. And Davis says, and then you get calling into this? No. My point is that you've got people there. That's a lot of families in Prairie Village. I got friends of mine that live in Prairie Village. John says, I do too. And Middleton says, and they're driving down Old Third to hit Valley Station to go back there and start an inaudible one of them back in there. And they've got little Bobby and Jill and Jack in the car with them. And one of them bullets that you're firing into the car misses the target, goes out in the streets and hits one of the kids and kills them. 000227. Wherefore, the reasons are stated above. The defendant, John M. Davis Jr., requests that the attached order be entered. Respectfully submitted by Jeffrey B. Scora, 600 West Main Street, Suite 300, Louisville, Kentucky, 40202 502. Well, I have his phone number if you want it. This to certify the copy of the foregoing was mailed to counsel as identified above on the 10th date of November 2009. Jeffrey B. Scora. And we have, what is this? The Commonwealth's offer on a plea of guilty. John M. Davis Jr. charged murder. And that was on charges and penalty. Murder 1. And amended charge. Murder to manslaughter. Fuck my life. After all that shit that he said, I don't know how this guy got a fucking... He must have ratted out the meth cook and all his fucking friends.
Is he out of prison?
Yes, and he's on YouTube, that's why. And he fucks with me and pushes fake news and lies about this whole thing.
So how many years was it?
I think 10 years. So look
10 years.
or,
Okay.
I think on 8, let me read it. This is hard to read too. On 8, it's handwritten. On 8/10/08 in Jeff County, intentionally shot Larry Evans while he was under an extreme and emotional disturbance. Yeah, so that's what he did. He's, I was under an extreme emotional disturbance. Also, tampered with physical evidence. So that was another charge. Yeah, that was a Class D felony. So murder's like a Class A felony, and tampering with evidence is a Class B. I have the...
I mean, I'm sure it's like, everything that...
And yeah, then he count 1, 10 years, and count 2, 5 years, consecutive for a total of 15 years. Probation and opposes probation and any form of early release.
So did he get out
So I think he did. So let's do the math. If he did it in 2000, well, this is a 2009. So what was this?
Get out?
I think we just talked about the date. So this is 2009-ish, I think, because he killed him in 2008. So 9 was the trial, and then November. So boom. So we'll say 2010 plus 15 years is 2025. Sorry, 2025. Yeah. So he had to get out early.
Yeah.
And then he got out early and fucking came to YouTube to become a fake pred catcher and lie and then so here's the thing. There's no talk of him saying. So here he's saying the guy was a lifelong predator and that he was sitting on this evidence, and that's why he said that the guy threatened his
And there's that too.
oh yeah, the bill. Oh yeah, we have more. So we went through all the tests to make sure. My full name, John M. Davis. I am the same person named in the indictment. John. My judgment is not impaired by drugs, alcohol, or medication. Blah blah blah. All the stuff, and then he pleads guilty. Signs sweetheart fucking deal too for all that shit. So guilty on what 2010. So he did, what?
How long is it going to need to?
I have no idea.
Or how long have you been talking?
Not that long.
Oh, okay.
And
So
then
maybe he just got out not too long ago.
John Davis, white male, date of birth, blah, social security number, blah. Okay, the defendant was charged with murder, tampering with evidence. The defendant's having appealed in an open court with counsel by agreement with the attorney of the Commonwealth with advice of counsel entered a plea of guilty to manslaughter as amended from murder and tampering with physical evidence. The court finding that the defendant understands the nature of the charges against him, that the defendant intelligently, knowingly, and voluntarily waived his rights to a trial by jury, the privilege against self-incrimination, the right to confront witnesses against him, and any defenses available to him at trial. The defendant's plea is intelligent, knowing, and voluntary, and there's a factual basis for the defendant's plea. It is hereby ordered that the defendant's plea of guilty be accepted, entered, and prayed in the defendant's motion to enter guilty plea as recommended in the Commonwealth's offer on a plea of guilty. It is therefore ordered and adjudged by the court that the defendant is guilty of the crimes of manslaughter as amended from murder, tampering with physical evidence, and the court notes of record the Commonwealth's recommendations of a sentence of manslaughter as amended from murder 10 years, tampering with physical evidence 5 years. The Commonwealth recommends both counts run consecutively for a total recommended sentence of 15 years to serve. The Commonwealth opposes probation, any form of early release. However, entry of the judgment imposing sentence is hereby postponed and suspended pending a presentation investigation. A hearing shall be held on February 24th, 2010 at 9:30 a.m. for the purpose of imposing sentence. The Division of Probation and the Parole is hereby ordered to prepare a written report of its presentation investigation of the defendant. It is further ordered that the defendant is to remain in the same bond to await the ruling of court. And that was entered into court by David L. Nicholson, the court clerk, on January 11th, 2010. Even though it's dated the 8th, it was stamped by the clerk on the 11th. And then, what does that say? Mark Baker, Assistant Commonwealth Attorney. Mark Baker, Assistant to the Commonwealth Attorney. Rob Eggert F. Scora, Counsel for the Defendant. Department of Probation and Parole. Okay. Commonwealth of Kentucky versus Judgment on Conviction and Sentence. The Commonwealth of Kentucky plaintiff versus the defendant John Davis. The Judgment of Conviction and Sentence. Digital recording number 30-. 06-10-VR-047. This case came before the court March 15th, 2010 for final sentencing. The Commonwealth was represented by the Honorable Mark Baker. The defendant, John M. Davis Jr., was presented with counsel, Honorable Jeff Skora and Honorable Rob Egger. On January 8th, 2010, the agreement with the Attorney of the Commonwealth, the defendant withdrew his plea of not guilty and entered the plea of guilty to manslaughter as amended for murder, tampering with physical evidence. The court found the defendant's plea to be intelligibly, knowingly, and voluntarily entered and accepted. The court having ordered a pre-sentence investigation report, and the court having informed the defendant and his counsel of the actual contents thereof, and having granted the defendant the right to controvert the factual contents of the report, and the court notes of the record of the Commonwealth's recommendation of a sentence of manslaughter as amended for murder, 10 years. Tampering with physical evidence, 5 years. The Commonwealth recommends both counsel unconsecutively for a total recommended sentence of 15 years to serve. The Commonwealth imposed its probation in any form of early release. The court having given due to consideration the pre-sentence investigation report to the nature and circumstances of the crime, considering the character and condition of the defendant, is of the opinion the probation with alternative sentencing plan should be denied for the following reasons. A, there was substantial risk during that period of probation with alternative sentencing plan, or conditional discharge that the defendant will commit other crimes. B, the defendant is in need of correctional treatment that can be provided most effectively by the defendant's commitment to a correctional facility, and probation with an alternative sentence plan or conditional discharge would unduly depreciate the seriousness of the defendant's crimes. The court inquired the defendant and his attorney whether they had any legal cause to show why judgment should not be pronounced against the defendant. Further, the court having afforded the defendant and his counsel an opportunity to make statements in the defendant's behalf and present any information in mitigation of the punishment, and no legal cause was shown why judgment and sentence should not be pronounced against them. Wherefore, the court, having found the defendant guilty of the above offenses, is ordered and judged that the defendant is hereby sentenced to manslaughter as amended for murder, 10 years, tampering with physical evidence, 5 years. Both counts are to run consecutively for 15 years to serve. The defendant is released from custody for any reason. He shall pay court costs in the sum of $130. Wow. For a homicide case? Okay, sorry. The defendant shall be entitled to credit time spent in custody prior to sentencing on this case. Probation and parole shall be calculated credit time and adjust accordingly to reflect any inconsistencies. It is further. It's further ordered and judged that the defendant is remanded to the Jefferson County Jail, and the sheriff of Jefferson County shall deliver the defendant to the custody of the Department of Correction at its earliest convenience at such locations within the state as the department shall designate for the purpose of the defendant serving the sentence imposed upon him here under O.A. Stevens, Judge, Jefferson Court, March 16th, 2010, and it was entered into by the court clerk on the 17th, 2010, by David L. Nicholson, and was CC'd
to the Mark Baker again, the attorney, the Commonwealth Attorney Office, and Rob Edgar, Jeff Scora, counsel for the defendant. The Department of Corrections, also at CDC, the Department of Probation and Parole, and the Roederer Correctional Complex. Wow. Okay. So that was part 10. And then, do we read this one? Okay. Yeah, this is the. Yeah, these are the counts. Yeah, so I got. If you guys think I'm bullshitting, I got your fucking numbers and all that shit. So yeah. So what was I gonna say? We have plenty of stuff to go through. As far as now, we have to go through and show what they're saying happened, if you know what I'm saying. So, if you want to take a break with the headphones for now, okay. And I get good news or bad news. I already told them I got you a present. You don't know what it is yet, but they already told them. So you may high five. It's a good present, I think. Well, hopefully it'll be well received. So we have all these saved, so I can close these tabs. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, I'm just seeing if I skipped over any. This is all redundant, though. You know, talking about the grand jurors of the county of Jefferson in the name and authority of the Commonwealth of Kentucky charged one count that on the 10th day of August 2008 in Jefferson County, Kentucky, the above named defendant John M. Davis Jr. committed the offense of murder by intentionally or under circumstances manifesting extreme indifference to human life, wantonly caused the death of Larry Evans. Count 2. That on or the day, excuse me, that on or about the day, about the 10th day of August 2008 in Jefferson County, Kentucky, the above named defendant John M. Davis Jr. committed the offense of tampering with physical evidence when believing that an official proceeding may be pending or instituted against him. He destroyed, concealed, removed, altered physical evidence which he believed was to be procured or used in such official proceeding with the intent to impair its verity or ability in the official proceeding. My phone. I could plug this one in. Did we read the entire thing? Just about, yeah. Just about. They knocked the dust off of it, I think. I actually wouldn't mind. That was kind of the first time reading it through. I almost want to read it without being on, stream. So I could pick up more of it. But yeah, it is 9 o'clock. We will be doing more. I want to almost cut this one. If anyone wanted to come up to talk, I guess I wanted to do like an after party free open panel or whatever. So, but if anyone wanted to say anything now, let me know. Otherwise, I will shut it down and then we can start another. Actually, we have another stream to go to right away. So that way we can clip this and, or, it will render and all that stuff. And
Do the part 2 could be dissected.
well, now we have to go through and go, okay, he shot him in the ass, and now he's buying drugs from his old lady. He's butthurt. hanging out with crackheads, and then he shoots the guy. There's no prey catching. He's pushing false narratives.
Clearly,
And clearly, the predator is John. John is shooting guys without guns because he's butthurt, and the guy's gonna fuck. He won't even if he fought him. The guy's got like a back surgery disabled guy. The guy's obviously not like the tiller of health,
Yeah.
So yeah, nice one, John. We will unpack Aaron's lies.
Is John here?
John may be here. Very well. I don't know if he's commenting. My girlfriend's asking if John's here. So
Yeah, he's okay.
he does come around roughly because of Aaron. Aaron brought his friends around. I hear him, but it's okay. Choppy all of a sudden. I'm gonna cut the other mic. This is okay. So I think let me get this right. Okay, now. So thank you, AI. Thank everyone, and my girlfriend appreciates you because she doesn't know what she got yet for a present, but she and hello, Nicola. I know at some points I was kind of getting monotone. I was like, yeah. So we're gonna again last call. Thank you, Angela, for coming and supporting and bringing some people, and hopefully they will. Everyone will find this informative, and just know that anytime Aaron says something, you always got to double check it. And apparently, this guy John also likes to lie. So we will be doing further content streams about this / drama when we see how ridiculous they. Yeah, she doesn't really understand. Yeah, we'll talk about it later. So we're gonna let me drop the link to my other channel, I guess you'd say, or one of my other channels. It does get a little rougher on there. You will probably. It's very free speechy. I'm very, I don't have anyone blocked. However, we have a few people we had to take wrenches for, but generally everyone gets a wrench unless they've never been there. Am I on the right? Okay. They've never been there. Boom. Boom. I think. Wait, did I do the right? I just dropped a link. Did I drop the wrong link? Let me try this again. Share. I thought I did this right. Copy. Vox. And then I'm going to go to this StreamYard. Yeah, boom. Paste. So that's it. Okay, the link to the Eagle stream. Yeah, we're going to go back there. I'm going to catch you guys on the flip side. Expect me tomorrow. Sometimes I work every other Sundays, but tomorrow I have off. So we will definitely, A, we're not going to stop right now. B, we will do something detail orientated tomorrow. So much appreciation. Thank you guys. I know it's been a long stream. Thanks to the new people. No, I'm going to keep I already have a stream going. So I'm just going to, I can just totally just go over to my other stream. And thank you so much again. My girlfriend thanks you. Threnis, you're always the best. Angela, thank you. AI, we had some new people. I'll figure out your names very shortly. Nicola, I know you're busy, so take care of business. Lady Scorpio, we had Edward, got Juniper. I believe it was another new person.
I'll figure it out. But part of my scrambled brain. And should I play a song for closing out? I guess I could play just to let everyone say their goodbyes. Let me get StreamYards, and I'm gonna play. We're gonna open YouTube first. Make sure. Jailhouse Rock. We're gonna play. Just kidding. That was a bad joke. So let's play what I always love to do. Let's go. When in doubt, play Adele. And hello and goodbye. But hello, we're going to meet you over at the other side. This is the last song I have for you tonight. Or not, actually, this is the last song of the stream, but we'll catch you guys on the other side.
Hello, it's me. I was wondering if after all these years you'd like to meet to go over everything. They say the time's supposed to heal ya. I ain't done much healing. Hello, can you hear me? I'm in California dreaming about who we used to be when we were younger and free. I've forgotten how it felt before the world fell at our feet. There's such a difference between us and a million miles. Hello from the other side. I must have called 1,000 times to tell you I'm sorry for everything that I've done. But when I call you, never seem to be home. Hello from the outside. At least I can say that I've tried to tell you I'm sorry for breaking your heart, but it don't matter. He clearly doesn't tear you apart anymore. Hello, how are you? It's so typical of me to talk about myself. I'm sorry. I hope that you're well. Did you ever make it out of that town when nothing ever happened? It's no secret that the both of us are running out of time. So help from the other side. I must have called 1,000 times to tell you I'm sorry for everything that I've done. But when I call you, never seem to be home. Hello from the outside. At least I can say that I've tried to tell you I'm sorry for breaking your heart, but it don't matter. He clearly doesn't tear you apart anymore. tell you